the one and only Jim Cornelison with our Star Spangled Banner. Now I turn to my colleague for the night, Charlie Roneliotis, with this important message.
Yeah, Who's Going to Deliver is sponsored by Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Air Conditioning. Electric heat pumps for a better environment inside and out. Visit getacomfyhome.com. My Who's Going to Deliver for tonight is Landon Slaggert. He's making his preseason debut in this game on the third line with Dickinson and Mikheyev. I think Jeff Blashill called him a dog on a bone. I think that's a pretty good depiction of his game. So I think Slaggert's going to come out with some jump today.
All right, I like it. Starting lineup for the Blackhawks, Spencer Knight in goal. At defense, Wyatt Kaiser and Artem Levshunov up front from left to right. Teuvo Teravainen starts at left wing. Frank Nazar centers the Hawks' opening line. Starting at the right wing is going to be Tyler Bertuzzi. Our referees tonight are Ben Betker and Frederick Lecuyer. Handling the lines are Brad Kovacic and C.J. Murray. 5th of 6 preseason games, and the final game between these two teams in the preseason set to begin. Down to center ice we go. The drop of the puck, and this one's underway. It's the Wild control. Jacob Middleton from inside the Wild end will whip the puck off the left wing boards deep into the Hawk zone. Kaprizov had it for a moment behind the net, then it's knocked off his stick. Middleton captures at the left point, hands it down the boards for Kaprizov. Tyler Bertuzzi took the puck away. A pass across the rink. Wyatt Kaiser at center ice, flipping it off the left side boards and in behind the Wild net. Philip Gustafson handling it there, moving it over to Middleton, then to Brock Faber at center ice, and he'll dump the puck down in behind the Hawk net. Hawks get possession. Levshunov waving it up the right side. Teravainen to center ice, snaps it down ice. Past Bertuzzi at center ice. He was on the Blackhawks side of the center ice red stripe, and no icing call. Wild come out of their end. At center ice, Zeev Buyam, a product of the University of Denver, sends the puck down into the Hawks zone, but the Hawks will reclaim it. Jason Dickinson passing it to the middle of the ice, picked off by the Wild. In the near corner, a battle for the puck, and now in behind the net, Nolan Allen of the Hawks had a stick lifted. Puck taken away by the Wild. Jared Spurgeon, right point. Moving across now to Joel Eriksson-Ek, and from the top of the left circle, he fires a shot that goes wide. And then Spurgeon fires from the right point, and that's into the glove of Spencer Knight beside the Hawk crease. So we get a whistle stopping play. Jared Spurgeon, his 16th season with the Minnesota Wild. The captain of this team. He's a guy that hasn't even played 1,000 games yet, but just seems like the Energizer Bunny. Takes a look in and keeps on ticking. That's the Timex watch. Sorry.
Has he really not hit 1,000 games? It feels like he's running around forever.
Like 938 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He and Tyler Johnson, former Hawk, were teammates in Spokane in the Western Hockey League and won a Memorial Cup together. Now puck turned over in the Hawk zone. Here's Johansson with a shot and a blocker save made by Knight. Loose puck in front of the net. Look out. And Johansson sticks it over top of the net. Now the puck taken back by the Wild. Here's Liam Oberon in the slot. This handles the puck right in on goal, and it's plopped on by Spencer Knight. And he'll hold it for a whistle. We'll get a face-off inside the Hawk zone.
Tonight's Coaches Challenge are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, with 8 special ties ranked among the top 10 in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. The teams at Northwestern Medicine offer second opinions for the toughest conditions. John, you know what's got to be nice, too, about us getting to full NHL rosters is that you don't have to study all these pronunciations of the guys from the ECHL teams. And who is this number?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Or no, I don't, actually. It must be his brother. Well, maybe it's his cousin. Well, who knows? Well, no, that's part of the job, and I enjoy it. I actually, when I see players change teams in the middle of the summer, Charlie, I kind of get a kick out of that. I like to get my computer out and move the names around.
That's why you're a pro, though, because I always just lean on whatever John says. That's how I should pronounce that name.
I got you fooled. Back inside the Wild zone, Brock Faber against the end boards. Dodges a hit from Sam Lafferty, but coughs up the puck. Nick Foligno, whose brother Marcus is playing for the Wild tonight. Nick Foligno swept the puck behind the Wild net and around, and ends up down inside the Hawk zone. Levshunov's on it. Over to Kaiser along the left boards. Then a pass ahead for Teravainen into the Wild end. He deflects it to a Wild player. Jacob Middleton will pass up the left wing for Marcus Foligno. Got to make sure I don't get my Folignos mixed up. Marcus will send it down behind the Hawk net where Spencer Knight guides it around up the near side. Not out. Faber at the right point to Middleton. Put it into the high slot. And the puck is stroked toward the Hawk net by Nico Stern, but knocked wide, and Frank Nazar breaking the other way over the wild line. Sent it to the left wing corner. Tyler Bertuzzi there. He'll stick it behind the wild net up the far side. And Marcus Foligno there to get it. The Hawks were caught in a line change. Stern to center ice will dump the puck lazily to the right wing corner Hawk zone. Matt Grzelcyk took it out of there. Moving it ahead, Andre Burakovsky to center ice and over the wild line. To Connor Bedard in the right corner. A tough angle shot. Hits the post and ricochets in front of the net. And then kicked out of there by a wild defenseman. Marco Rossi the other way to center ice. He'll hand the puck off. Z. Bouillon will dump it down behind the Hawk net. Matt Grzelcyk winding it around up the far side. And now Murphy, a little slap pass. Actually, Renzel slap pass ahead to Connor Bedard. He'll dump the puck to the inboards on the wild end and then dig it out and fed it up the slot. Matt Boldy intercepts for Minnesota. Boldy passing it ahead. Here's Kaprizov taking the puck into the Hawk zone. The Wild are offside on this play. We have no score. 16:08 left in period number one, and the pace of this game's good.
Yeah, it's been really, really nice. The Hawks had an odd man rush going the other way with Frank Nazar and Tyler Bertuzzi, and Nazar tried to pass it underneath the stick of the defenseman, and if it was just a little bit too far, but if Bertuzzi was able to corral it, he would have had half a net to shoot at. Unfortunately, they couldn't connect on the pass.
I like the fact that Connor Bedard challenged the goaltender Gustafsson from the corner. I mean, Gustafsson's probably thinking he's not going to shoot from there, and Connor did. I mean, had that puck hit the post and then hit Gustafsson on the side of the sleeve or something. Maybe Connor catches a break, and that ends up in the back of the net. Wyatt Kaiser, Hawk line, passing it ahead up the left wing, Jason Dickinson. At the Wild blue line, he'll deflect it down behind the net. Gustafsson gave it a ride around up the far side. Marco Rossi became entangled with Jason Dickinson in front of the Hawks bench. Then he fights himself free and then flips the puck down behind the Hawk net. Wyatt Kaiser will drag it out over the center ice circle. Kaiser to the Wild line. Floats it down to the right wing corner, Wild zone. Colton Dock in to get it for the Hawks. Spins it behind the net, left wing corner. Ilya Mikheyev. Here's Mikheyev along the left boards. To Dickinson back of the Wild net. And he's jostled by Vladimir Tarasenko. Took the puck to the right wing corner, leaving it there for Colton Dock. He tried to drop it back to the corner from the half boards. That's picked off by the Wild. Joel Eriksson into the Hawk zone along the right side boards. Sweeps the puck down to the corner. Connor Murphy took it there. Around to Nick Foligno. The Hawk captain will spin it back in behind the net to the near corner to Nolan Allen. Send it up the left wing. Dock, a little chip pass. Lafferty over the Wild line, left wing. Send it across Foligno from the right corner. He sends it in front for Lafferty, but his stick was lifted, and the Wild get the puck back. Boldy to center ice. Turned over the puck in front of his bench and then got it back. And then he hands it ahead. And Daniil Yurov will spin it down behind the Hawk. Let the Wild go for a line change. Sam Renzel to center ice. Lifts it off the right side boards and deep in behind the Wild net. Bouillon there to leave it. Ryan Hartman, the former Hawk, shot it ahead up the left wing at center ice. Lost the puck, got it back, got it to Johansson over the Hawk line to Hartman, top of the right circle. He'll turn and try and fire a backhander from the top of the right circle, and that deflects off of a Hawk player's stick and up into the protected netting. Still no score.
Hawks had another odd man rush developing with Sam Lafferty and Nick Foligno as the trailer, but he doesn't have the same speed as Sam Lafferty, and so it was hard for Foligno to get to a spot in time. But you mentioned Joel Eriksson Ek from the Minnesota Wild. He is legit one of the best defenseman centers in the NHL, always in the conversation for Selke, and he was the guy that was hustling back and prevented that chance for Foligno.
I wish when they give consideration for the Selke trophy, they think about somebody other than a center. And
Marian Hossa.
Well, yeah, Marian Hossa probably would have won a couple.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a center. But anyway, maybe they'll amend the ruling in some way.
There's just so much responsibility that centers take on, so I get it.
Bertuzzi into the Wild zone, put it in front. Nazar shoots, he scores! Frank Nazar off of a nice dish from Bertuzzi that originated near the left wing corner. And Nazar snaps it past Gustafsson. It's 1-0 Hawks. And Charlie, what time is it?
Well, first off, he picked up exactly where he left off when he last faced Minnesota. So that's now 4 goals in a row for Frank Nazar against the Minnesota Wild. A nice feed by Tyler Bertuzzi. The Hawks finally capitalize on an odd man rush. Nazar puts it past Gustafson, and it is time, John, with that goal. It's time to break out the Bandito. Celebrate every goal this season with El Bandito Yankee Tequila.
Nazar at 6:25, his 4th goal of the preseason. Oh, I like the look of that. We'll take all kinds of that. 1-0 in favor of the Hawks as we rejoin the play. Yakov Trenyan at center ice fed the puck ahead to the Hawk blue line for Marcus Foligno, but the pass was in his skates. Meanwhile, Ryan Donato was able to work the puck down the left wing side into the Wild zone. Had a stick lifted, puck taken away. Trennan takes it from the left wing side of the Wild zone. Shot the puck across the rink. It goes down beside the Hawk net. Matt Grzelcyk wheels to the far corner. Takes a hit, tried to clear it out. It's taken away by the Wild. And a shot from Sturm from the high slot. That's into the glove of Spencer Knight, and he'll hold on. 1-0 Hawks with 13:05 left in period number 1 here at the United Center. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey, Jeremy Roenick here. You know, I played in an era that was tough, gritty, old school. But I got major respect for the next generation of hockey. The speed, the skill, the precision. That's what I see in Flight by Yuengling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, clean, crisp, real beer flavor without the heaviness. This is the light beer that keeps up with the modern game. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA.
You've heard Tom Fortino, principal and founder of the Alpha Wealth Group, for years here on WGN. We invite you to join him Sunday mornings at 7 for the Alpha Wealth Hour. He'll be talking about what's going on in the financial world and the 5 pillars of a complete retirement plan. How to build guaranteed income, tax efficiency, a smart investment plan you can stick to, asset protection, and estate planning. That's Sunday mornings at 7 for the Alpha Wealth Hour with Tom Fortino here on AM 720 WGN.
Hi, I'm Tom Detlitz with Grandview Homes. As I'm sure you know, life is full of surprises. But at Grandview Homes, our goal is to make sure selling a home isn't one of them. We understand that selling an inherited home, downsizing, or relocating could be a lot to deal with. That's why we buy every home completely as is. No repairs, no waiting, no stress. We'll buy your home on your schedule, treating you with the respect you deserve during this transitional period. Get your no-obligation offer at GrandviewHomes.com today.
Hey, this is Jeremy Roenick. Let's get you back to Hawks hockey. Here are the boys.
Back here at the United Center, Charlie Romelios and John Weideman. Blackhawks fans, you don't want to miss the 2025 Blackhawks home opener on Saturday, October 11th. Arrive early to catch the annual red carpet celebration, plus the first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive a schedule magnet presented by Circa. Visit blackhawks.com/tickets to secure your seats today.
Red carpet's always a lot of fun.
You know, last year, Nick Foligno and I showed up to the red carpet wearing the same exact outfit. We had the same shoes, same black pants, same burgundy, and we had a black tie.
Let me guess. You texted him that morning. Hey, Nick, what are you wearing? The red carpet shirt. Yeah.
No, he texted me. No,
me too. Oh, he texted. Yeah, I see how it works. All right. Back in the Wild zone. Bedard from the left wing corner snaps the puck to the left point where Matt Grzelcyk fires it toward the net. That's turned wide. Burakovsky in the left wing corner digs it out. Pokes it around to the right wing corner to Connor Murphy, who takes a hit there from Trenyan, but leaves the puck behind the Wild net. And Ryan Donato will poke check it away to the left wing boards. Taken back by the Wild's Nico Sturm, who clears to center ice. Minnesota native Sam Rinzel of the Hawks takes a hit from Marcus Foligno in front of the penalty box, but backhands the puck down behind the Wild net. And now Middleton tried to clear the puck out of the Wild zone. He hit Rossi in the head with that. Middleton now has the puck in the circle to the left of Gustafson. Winds it over to Spurgeon. Clears it ahead. Rossi over the Hawk line to Boldy in front. Backhand shot turned out of the air by Spencer Knight. And the puck redirected to center ice now by Teravainen. Taken back by the Wild's Kaprizov. Steps into the Hawk zone to the right point. Floats it down behind the net. Boldy took it away from Levshinoff in the left wing corner and tried to center, but the puck ends up behind the Hawk net. Boldy is there to center. One of the Hawks got a skate in there to kick that one away. Bertuzzi to center ice will just leave the puck in the Wild zone. Then a pass ahead to Rossi at the Hawk line. He's hit by Levshinoff, knocked to the ice. Meanwhile, here's Zeev Buium down into the Hawk zone to the right wing corner to Kaprizov along the right boards. Whips it across, rink wide to Boldy. Back over to Kaprizov, right circle. It was a bouncing puck, and he had trouble with it. Kaiser took the puck away in the right wing corner, and then Kaprizov is all over him like a bad rash. But the Hawks end up with the puck. Ilya Mikheyev will sling it behind the Hawk net around to Levshunov. To Dickinson, Hawk line right wing in front of the bench. Rink-wide pass goes to Mikheyev. He races down to the left wing corner in the wild end. Lost the puck, got it back, swings it around to Connor Murphy. Right point, he fires. That goes just wide of the net. Noah now into the puck along the left wing boards. Overskated it, lost it there. Kaprizov will fling it across the rink to Boldy up the left wing in front of the benches, and he'll step over the center ice red stripe and dump it slowly down behind the Hawk net. Murphy stabs it away from Eriksson. Over to Allen. Passing ahead, Nick Foligno at center ice. Put it down behind the wild net. Sam Lafferty there. Send it away to Foligno along the right sideboards. He leaves the puck there for Colton Dock. To Lafferty, right wing corner. Winds it behind the net to the left point, Allen. He'll spin it back into the area in the left wing corner. Lafferty's got the puck in his skates there. Colton Dock helping out. Little scrum ensues. Lafferty is able to kick it free to a stick. Gave it to Allen, left point. Now to Lafferty along the left half boards. Back to Allen, left point. Put it over now to Renzel, right point, long shot. They score! And I believe this is going to be Sam Renzel's goal. I'm not sure if one of the Hawks touched that on the way in. It looked like, oh, you know what? This is going to be Nick Foligno's goal. I stand corrected. And bada boom, bada bang, his first of the preseason makes it 2-0 in favor of the Hawks. Charlie, what time is it again?
Yeah, it's time to break out the Bandito with that goal. Celebrate every goal this season with El Bandito Yankee Tequila. You can never tell who scored the goal until they all get to the circle and they all converse. Did it hit your stick? Did it hit mine? But it sure did hit Nick Foligno's stick. I was wondering if it might have been a high stick, but the refs seem to have agreed that it was below the crossbar, and Minnesota does not appear to be challenging. Just looking at the replay here. Ooh, it was really close, but
yeah,
who cares? 2-0 Chicago.
Yeah. So it's going to be Foligno, his first of the preseason from Renzel and Nolan Allen. The time of the goal, 10:04. So 2-0 in favor of the Hawks as we rejoin the play. That's center ice. Renzel's got the puck again. To Ryan Donato, wild line on the left wing. Snaps it down behind the net around up the right wing sideboards. Connor Bedard's got it there. Now Bedard behind the net trying to jam the puck in the short side, and Gustafsson reacted and stopped it with the glove. 9:24 left in the first. 2-0 Hawks. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey Blackhawks fans, it's Alex Vlasic. Stay tuned. More Blackhawks hockey coming up.
As a mother, I'd do anything to protect my children. But when I found out at 19 weeks pregnant that my blood was attacking my baby, I felt helpless. I'm Ellen. My team at Northwestern Memorial Hospital said my daughter's only chance at survival was a rare in utero blood transfusion. Not just once, but 5 separate times.
Top ranked in Illinois for obstetrics and gynecology by U.S. News & World Report, the team at Northwestern Medicine Maternal Fetal Medicine Clinic treats high-risk patients across Chicagoland. And they're one of the few in the state with the expertise to take on complex pregnancies like Ellen's. Over 3 months, Ellen's team collaborated closely to ensure she and her baby had a compatible blood type so she could deliver safely.
I can't imagine my world without my baby girl in it. And thanks to my team, I don't have to.
Northwestern Medicine is committed to providing world-class care across Chicagoland because what makes us better makes you better. Learn more at nm.org/better.
Hi, I'm Tim Stearns from TJ Stearns. I find that people are generally unaware of certain factors that can significantly impact your path to retirement. Factors like healthcare, taxes, income, and legacy planning. As you approach retirement, if these elements are not addressed, it can have devastating effects. I call it the retirement riddle, and I love solving it. Call me. Let's discuss a Protect and Grow blueprint. 1-800-640-2256. My only minimum is that you're a nice person. 1-800-640-2256 or visit tjstearns.com.
Hey Blackhawks fans, here's a club you'll want to get into. Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up.
We are back here at the United Center where the Blackhawks are up 2-0 on the Minnesota Wild halfway through the first. John got 3 shots for Chicago. 2 of them have found the back of the net. That is a very good shooting percentage for Chicago today.
I was going to say, Sam Renzel has 3 assists so far in the preseason. He's played 4 games. He's kind of picked up where he left off at the end of last year.
Have I told you my bold prediction for the season this year for Chicago?
Let's hear it.
Sam Rinzel is going to win the Calder Trophy.
Love that.
I do, and I honestly don't think it's too unrealistic, but I think he could easily, he can get 45-ish points, especially with the amount of ice time that he's going to get. First power play. I was so impressed by how he handled last season, the 9 games, that I think he's going to play his way into the conversation.
I don't disagree, Charlie. They're fixing a pane of glass down by the Blackhawks penalty box. The arena crew tending to that post haste. To keep the subject on Sam Rinzel for a little while, I've only seen 9 regular season games out of that kid, but Charlie, I was so impressed with him last year. I thought to myself, here's a young guy coming to the NHL. He's got the best days of his career ahead of him. I really believe, and I don't think this is a stretch, I think at some point he's going to win a Norris Trophy. I really believe that. You know
I mean, he certainly can be on that trajectory if he – I mean, he's a beautiful skater to watch. And with his size, right-handed shot, I think he's listed at 6'4", but I think he's 6'5".
Could be.
And once he fills out his frame even more, he could be a really special player. But, yeah.
He told me this morning, I said, did you have an idol growing up? He said, I watched a lot of Cale Makar. And I went, oh, that sounds awful good.
That'll work.
Yeah, that'd be okay for me. Still working on that pane of glass down below us. It's right at the penalty timekeeper bench. And we were talking about Rinzel. He was the guy that was checked over there by Marcus Foligno, and I think that's what jarred the pane of glass loose. So, but we'll remind our listeners that if you don't have any plans for tomorrow night, come on down here to the United Center and watch the Blackhawks and Blues have at it to end the preseason. And depending on how the lineups shape up, I think that could actually be maybe Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like the Blackhawks are going to field a more of an NHL roster, and so I think you're going to see a lot of guys get called up from Rockford. But hopefully, guys like Nick Lardis or some of those players that could be exciting prospects in the future for Chicago, you get a front row seat at them one final time before the games actually count.
And that's really an opportunity for the kids. I call them kids because that's what they are, but that's an opportunity for the kids to showcase their talents in front of a Chicago crowd. So, maybe that'll be a good stimulus to get their season started in Rockford. All right, face off down in the circle to the left of Gustafson in the Wild zone. Wild get control off the draw. Spurgeon passing up the right wing side. Wild line to Boldy. He had it knocked off his stick back to Spurgeon. He then set the puck down ice and right in on Spencer Knight, who guides it up the right wing side. Burakovsky to Donato, breaking in over the Wild line down the right wing, and he backhands one through the crease. Grizzlick took the puck back along the left boards, put it down behind the net to the right wing corner to Connor Bedard. Here's Bedard. Turns and from the half board centers the puck. This is picked off by the Wild Sturm, who guides it to center ice. Hawks get it back. Andre Burakovsky dumps the puck wide to the Wild net. It ends up in the right wing corner. Nico Sturm's got it there for Minnesota. They work it out to center ice, and Spurgeon will fire it off the right side glass and down behind the Hawk net to the left wing corner. And then Levshinoff for the Hawks took it away from Marcus Foligno. Passing it ahead at center ice. Wyatt Kaiser tried to guide the puck ahead for Nazar into the Wild zone. Moves off his stick, and the Wild will get it back. Now at center ice, Matthew Boldy. Turning away from pressure, he'll fire it down the right side glass and in behind the Hawk net. Kaiser in the near corner. Passing up the left wing. Nazar was jostled there by David Jiricek, who has a history with the Columbus Blue Jackets. But the Hawks end up getting the puck back, and Nazar will skate it out to center ice. Then he backhands the puck to the left wing corner Wild zone. Had to fight for possession. He hands it up the boards to Teuvo Teravainen, who rifles one in from the left wing half boards, and that's into the glove of Gustafson. Charlie mentioned the low shots on goal. That's only the Hawks' 4th shot on goal so far with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, only 4 against 2, and so Chicago's not giving up too much. Another nice shift here by the Nazar, Teravainen, and Bertuzzi line. They really started to come together, that trio, towards the end of last season when the Hawks finished out with a 3-0-1 record in their final 4 games. And so Jeff Blashill taking over as the Blackhawks head coach, he just went straight back to that trio. Like, we don't want to mess with what was working towards the end of last year.
They had chemistry. They understood each other. They one of the keys in my estimation for a line working together is how hard they work for each other. And part of that is guys seeing open ice and getting open to facilitate passing. And I think we saw a lot of that from that trio last year. They blended well. In behind the Wild net, Jacob Middleton hit by Jason Dickinson, threw the puck in front of the net. It ends up bouncing in the crease. Mikheyev's got it. Tried to jam it in the short side, and it lays underneath Gustafsson, who doesn't know where the puck is. And if he rolls over on his back, he's on top of that puck. But it laid there for about 2 or 3 seconds, and we all saw it.
Yep.
Finally, the referee blew the whistle.
Yeah, Hawks were a little upset there with the quick whistle, but the ref was on the other side of the net, so we didn't see that the puck was still loose. Mikheyev had a really great opportunity to try to shovel that puck after Gustafsson slid out of the crease. And I think he went to go retrieve that puck as well that was loose, and then the whistle blew, and he kind of threw his arms up. So unfortunate break, but that's what the officials are trained to do. When they lose sight of the puck, they have to blow the whistle, and so no surprise that.
We'll draw to the right of Gustafsson. Nick Foligno against Ryan Hartman. Hawks' first-round draft pick from 2013. He was 30th overall. Hartman wins this draw, and the Wild get the puck. Middleton will toss it down ice into the Hawk zone. Minnesota native Wyatt Kaiser slings it away to the right wing boards to Levshunov. Passing up the right side, Doc deflects the puck into the Wild zone. Lafferty had it for a moment and then lost the puck. Taken back by the Wild. And then the puck turned over by Liam Over into the Wild. Taken back by the Hawks. Kaiser in front of the penalty boxes. Tried to wing it into the Wild zone. This deflects instead to the far side of the rink. Hartman into the Hawk zone down the left wing. Snaps one in on goal. And that's deflected up into the protective netting with the stick from Spencer Knight. Down to 6:34 left in period number 1. Hawks 2, the Wild no score. A very warm day here in Chicagoland.
You know, John, I was mentioning Sam Renzel. I think he could be a legit Calder Trophy candidate this year. And I said about around 45-ish points. That's what Brock Faber had his rookie year with.
Right.
I mean, it was around that area. He had 47 points in 82 games when he was, in that Calder Trophy conversation for Rookie of the Year all season long. So just a guy that could have a similar type impact, Sam Renzel.
Yeah, you'll recall the loose puck in front of the Hawk net. Kicked out of there by Knight. We'll come back to that point in a moment. Trenyon from the side of the net. Tried to jam it in the short side. Knight slammed the door by leaning against the right post. Matt Grzelcyk to the puck. To Renzel between the circles. He'll skate it to center ice. Hands it off to Ryan Donato, who snaps the puck down the left side boards. This rims around behind the Wild net and ends up down ice to the Hawk blue line. Renzel quick pass to Donato. Wild blue line deflecting it down to the inboards. Wild get it back, and it's cleared now to center ice. Taken back by Kaiser, and he backhands the puck down behind the Wild net again. Zach Bogosian there. Former pick of the Atlanta Thrashers, first round pick. Shot the puck ahead. This ends up down in the Hawk zone off of a slap. And now Kaiser takes a pass from Spencer Knight. Skates to center ice, snaps it down the glass, deep into the Wild zone, behind the net into the far corner. Middleton battling with the Hawks' Frank Nazar. Middleton pokes the puck behind the Wild net. It's taken out of there and spun ahead by Urhoff into the Hawk zone. Boldy there to Kaprizov right corner, jams it into the crease. Knocked out of there by Knight. Kaprizov to the puck along the left side board. Leaves it there for Boldy. Boldy to the left wing corner. Sent it around behind the net to the right point. Brock Faber there to Kaprizov along the right side boards. To Boldy in the right wing corner. Had trouble with the puck. Lost it, but then Kaprizov takes it back, and he lost it in turn at the Hawk blue line. And Frank Nazar will stick it down the left side glass and in behind the Wild net. The Hawks involved in a line change. Wild clear therein. Joel Eriksson to the Hawk blue line. Slings the puck down the right side boards into the Hawk zone. Mikheyev doubling back, took it away. Leaving the puck for Nolan Allen. He passes up the left wing. Dickinson, Hawk line. Snaps it ahead, intended for Landon Slaggert, but it's over, sticking all the way down, and icing's going to be the call here to the Hawks. Face-off coming down to the Hawk zone. This will be in the circle to Spencer Knight's left.
You have the Dickinson. Slaggert. I thought that was Lafferty for a second. I saw the 4. Dickinson, Slaggert, and Mikheyev. This is going to be Chicago's true shutdown line this season. So don't be surprised if when you see Kirill Kaprizov or you see the opponent's top lines, top scoring lines, number 16 his line is going to hit the ice very frequently.
So when the Hawks are playing the Wild, if what you said holds up, I guess we can expect Ilya Mikheyev to be chirping at Kirill Kaprizov in the Russian language. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that. Icing again is the call against the Hawks, and a face-off again in the Hawks zone, this time to the right of Spencer Knight.
I think Mikheyev is too nice. I don't know if he would. He's a really kind soul.
He is. He's a great kid. He and his wife are expecting their first soon, so we wish them all the best. Face off now to the right of Spencer Knight. Won by the Wild. Oh, Tarasenko with a shot from the top of the left circle off the draw into the glove of Knight, and he'll hold it. Boy, over the years, Tarasenko, how many times did he break the Blackhawks' heart as a member of the St. Louis Blues? Wow. 2-0 Hawks, 4:24 left in the first. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Chicago hockey fans love a good power play. And when it comes to selling your house, you want a team you can trust.
That's why Jeff Buys Your House is your winning play. No repairs, no commissions, and you pick the closing date.
That's like skating on a clean sheet of ice, fast and smooth.
We're a local, veteran-owned company that's been helping Chicagoland homeowners since 2007.
Make the smart move and go for the win. Visit jeffbuysyourhouse.com for your no-obligation offer today.
Cooler temps means fall is here, and it's time to get ready for the Blackhawks and the Bulls, live on Chicago Sports Network. Visit subscribe.chsn.com to sign up for your free 7-day trial of their all-access plan, which gives you over 300 live games per year. Catch every basket and every goal from your mobile device, television, or wherever you want to watch. CHSN is your home for the Blackhawks and the Bulls all season long. Chicago Sports Network, your home stream advantage.
My friends at Access are the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. Access is dedicated to serving those with mobility challenges, from elevators and stair lifts to ramps, bathroom modifications, and more. Their personal, caring, friendly service team covers all of Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home or Zoom video mobility assessment with Access. Call 844-IL-LIFTS or visit allaboutaccess.com and tell them Lou sent you.
Hey Hawks fans, this is Jason Dickinson. Let's get back to John and Troy on 720 WGN.
Back here at the United Center, Charlie Romeliotis and John Weideman as the Blackhawks lead the Minnesota Wild 2-0. John, you were talking about Vladimir Tarasenko being a Hawks killer. I think he's going to fit better with Minnesota than he did last year with Detroit. I thought that was a little bit of an awkward fit because him and Kane play the same wing, so one had to get pushed, and it was him. And so he had a little bit of a down year with the Red Wings last year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has a little bit more of a bounce back with Minnesota.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. In fact, I'll go so far as to say I wouldn't be surprised to see Tarasenko, the guy we're talking about, wheels and fires a shot from near the left wing corner that deflects up into the netting. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see him on the line with Kirill Kaprizov. I mean, stranger things have happened. Both of them can shoot the puck. Kaprizov's a bit of a playmaker too, so I could definitely see that taking shape.
Yeah, and Kaprizov is a left winger, so that would allow Tarasenko to play his more natural position at right, where he didn't really play the right side last year with Detroit as much, so he kind of was an awkward fit there.
Back in the Hawk zone, Rinzel will pass up the right wing side to Ilya Mikheyev at center ice. He slings the puck off the inboards in the Wild zone. Jason Dickinson first on the scene, digs it out. Dickinson to the inboards. Hands it off beside the net. Mikheyev fed it up the slot. Slaggert could not get a shot away. Here's Kaiser to the puck along the left side boards. Rolls away from a check. Sets up the line. Levshinoff. Long wrist shot deflects wide. Good traffic in front. Colton Dock to the puck in the left wing corner. Swings it behind the Wild net. Nick Foligno to Levshinoff right point. He'll walk it through the deep slot and backhands it over the net. I don't think Gustafsson ever got a good look at that. And at the glass. And the Wild get the puck. Danila Yurov will sling it down into the Hawk zone. Here's Sam Lafferty to get it. From Brown University. Fire it down the glass and down into the Wild zone to the near corner. Taken there by David Jiricek. Passing up the right side into the Hawk zone. Ogren to Johansson down the slot. And one too many passes by the Wild as it's shot across the rink. Colton Dock will carry to center. And lift it lazily down to the left wing corner in the Wild end. Hawks go for a change. Back to get the puck, Jiricek. Moving a pass on the right wing, Johansson through center ice. Over the Hawk line, stopping along the half boards. Back to Juracek. Pass too hot to handle, but Hartman there to grab the puck at the point. Spins it down behind the net, around to the left point. Bogosian backhands it down behind the Hawk net. Wild get possession. Johansson to Bogosian left point. To Juracek right point. Long shot from there, and a kneeling stick save made by Spencer Knight. Then Rinzel to the near corner. Had it knocked off his stick. Ends up behind the net. Teravainen now will guide it up the right wing side for Frank Nazar, who's being hooked and draws a penalty. That was seemingly too easy. I mean, I don't mean to pick on the kid, Liam Ogren there, but you put your stick across somebody's body like that with a referee standing 15 feet away, that's a gimme. Let's get the call.
Number 28, Minnesota's got a minor for interference.
And that is a Blackhawks power play. The Citgo power play. Score savings on every fill-up with Club Citgo. Download the app now to start saving. I was hesitant. By the way, Frank Nazar is going to be a problem in the Central Division. If you're Bill Guerin, one, I'm sure this is encouraging to see. He scored 4 goals against you, and he's also the Team USA, I think, Team USA GM for the Olympics as well.
He is.
Frank Nazar is playing his way in that conversation, but for him to draw that penalty, I mean, he's going to be, Minnesota's going to have their hands full with Nazar for a long time.
I like the fact that Billy Guerin is going to be the general manager of Team USA for the Olympics. Billy Guerin's a good hockey man from Massachusetts and loves this country, and he'll do a good job for the United States of America. Hopefully a gold medal. Hawks set up in the Wild zone. Nazar, bottom of the left circle. To Connor Bedard, top of the left. To the line, Rinzel. Now back to Bedard beside the left circle. Back to Rinzel, left point. Over to Bertuzzi, right circle. Back across Bedard. He tried to snap one on goal. Kind of in an awkward stance, let's just say, when he let the shot go. This ends up in the glove of Gustafsson. He'll hold it. By the time they get to the regular season, let's say 10 games into the regular season, those kinds of plays are going to be more precise.
Yeah, that pass by Bertuzzi it kind of caught Connor Bedard in an awkward angle where he couldn't really get the full shot off, and so it just flubbed into Philip Gustafsson. The power play has looked a little bit off in training camp, but I've liked over the last 2 games, John.
Now back into the Hawk zone, a drop pass to Faber. He mishandled the puck. Bertuzzi back the other way over the wild line. To Nazar in the slot, back to Bertuzzi in the left circle. The pass was in his skates. Wild get it back. Jacob Middleton uses the backhand to clear the puck through the air and down ice between the circles. Hawk zone. We're under a minute to play in period number 1. The Hawks have a 2-0 lead. Here's Artyom Levshunov carrying to center ice, where he stops and then turns the puck over right there. Trennan took it away, and then Trennan had to take it back by the Hawks. Colton Dock to Ryan Donato, coming off of a career season. He flips the puck down the glass in behind the Wild net into the far corner. Rossi and Nick Foligno battle. Hawks get it. Levshunov to Donato, top of the left circle. Hammers the shot, and a blocker save made. Burakovsky to Levshunov, high slot to Burakovsky, left point. Backing up through the high slot with it over to Levshunov. Hammers the one-timer. That hit Bogosian. Doc turns and fires from the slot, and that missed the net. Bogosian takes the loose puck, clears it up the near glass to center ice, and Artyom Levshunov took it away at the Hawk line. Wild at full strength now. Donato back into the Wild zone with 7. Down the left wing side. Carries behind the net. Sets up the right point. Kaiser will fire. That deflects across the rink. And there's the horn ending play in period number 1. So the Hawks 0 for 1 on the Citgo power play, but they have the lead 2-0 over the Minnesota Wild. And a low shots on goal tally for the Blackhawks here. They've been outshot 10-5 so far, unless they had a few more shots. But they'll take a 2-0 lead into the dressing room. And I think it was really, Charlie, the first half of the first period that's been the difference in this game.
Yeah, the ice started to tilt a little bit in Minnesota's favor in the second half. I think the shots were 4-3 in favor of Chicago. And since then, if my math is correct, it is 7-1. The last 8 shots on goal have come for 7 of the last 8 have come from Minnesota. But I thought it was a good pace in this first period.
I definitely felt it was a good pace. It was kind of a regular season pace, but we kind of have to expect that because the lineups are going to pretty, as I said at my opening statement, the lineups are going to resemble what we'll see opening night, whether it be with the Wild or with the Hawks, but it's entertaining nonetheless. So, I look at this,
we talked about Colton Dock in our pregame, how this is a chance for him to get his position stamped here in Chicago. And for my money, he hasn't done anything that would jeopardize that. I think he's been pretty solid. He doesn't have the amount of ice time, obviously, that some of the others have, but the ice time he's had, I think he's done well with it.
Yeah, and this was always going to be an important training camp for Colton because the last couple years, I think he was drafted in the second round in 2020. So he's gotten to the point now where he really has to show the Blackhawks that he belongs on the permanent roster.
Right.
And he's had a really good camp. His last game on Tuesday was terrific. And he's the kind of player that brings a different element to his game than some of the other prospects in the pipeline where they're fast, they're skilled, they play make. With Colton, he's more of a power forward type player. And so, I think he's going to be on the opening night roster. It's just a matter of how big is the impact he's going to make on Chicago this year. They probably want to see that consistency with him.
Well, so far the Hawks are solid in goal. Spencer Knight stopping all 10 Wild shots. He got tested a couple times. The Wild can really move the puck around. They're very clever, I think, with how they move it around. John Hines, their head coach, has a scheme that's, I think, pretty easy for them to follow. And with the talent that they have, especially at the forward position, it's really not a surprise they're able to generate as they have.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how Knight is going to handle a starters type workload for the first time in his NHL career. He had 36 starts, I think, last year combined between Chicago and Florida, which is a career high. So if he can get closer to the 50, 55 range, his sample size will be larger to see what the Blackhawks are working with moving forward. And I think he's going to be able to handle it well. Like I think he's ready for a larger workload and more consistent starts that will get him into a rhythm.
I mentioned Ryan Hartman a little while ago, how he was the first-round pick of the Blackhawks in 2013, 30th overall. Spencer Knight was taken in that same draft. He was a first-round draft pick of the Florida Panthers. So it's the Blackhawks' good fortune that he's here in goal, and we'll see how things evolve. But right now, we're going to step out and take a break, and when we return, Charlie's going to take it solo for a while. I'm going to get some soup because it's really good soup.
What is it today? I didn't see.
I think it's minestrone.
Minestrone, yeah, actually, you're right. I did see that.
There really isn't a bad soup here at the United Center, but the minestrone is really good.
When I see chicken noodle, that's
all over. Huh?
The over-under is always going to be 2.5 for me, and I usually hammer the over.
So when we have chicken noodle, I guess Charlie's bringing Tupperware. Well, we'll see. Yeah. All right, Charlie will be back here in just a moment. 2-0 Hawks after one period here at the United Center. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Can't find the right words? Rogers & Hollins has you covered. Since 1910, Rogers & Hollins has been Chicagoland's trusted name for fine jewelry and quality watches. From engagement rings to the perfect gift or something to elevate your look, generations have relied on Rogers & Hollins for unmatched quality and personal service. Experience the Rogers & Hollins difference. Visit fornowandforever.com or a store near you. Rogers & Hollins, for now and forever.
Rogers & Hollins, for now and forever.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Parents, what is your student doing after high school? Most of us would agree that education after high school is essential, but how do you help your student explore and decide on the education needed for their career choice? Remember, college is not a career choice. Don't worry, there is help. The help is Career Vision. Career Vision is a 35-year-old career consulting organization that works with students and their parents to discover each person's best career choice. Using their aptitude assessment program, Career Vision reveals an individual's natural talents and can direct them to the careers that will use these strengths and be more satisfying. Your student will be guided personally by a professional career consultant to receive objective information about themselves and the type of careers that fit them. We want our children to become happy adults. Career Vision has a proven system that takes the guesswork out of your student's future. Learn more at careervision.org. That's careervision.org.
The professionals at Plumbers 911 Chicago are ready to answer your call. They'll get your plumbing job done right the first time. Their phones are open 24/7, 1-833-PLUM-911.
The first period's in the books.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Here's Charlie Remiliotis with your intermission update.
That is a wrap for the first period here at the United Center, where the Blackhawks are leading the Minnesota Wild 2-0. Shots on goal are 10-5 in favor of the Wild. So they slowly started to tilt the ice back in their favor in the second half of that first period, but the Blackhawks were up to the task and had that sicko power play. Let's get to some news around the NHL. We start with Winnipeg forward and former Chicago Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews. He's dealing with a lower body injury that he suffered on Tuesday in the preseason game against Minnesota. He hasn't been on the ice since, but Winnipeg's head coach Scott Arniel said he tweaked something and he's hoping to be ready to go by opening night. So wishing Johnny the best, and hopefully he's ready to go for the Winnipeg Jets in all 82 this year. Toronto Maple Leafs forward Scott Lawton has suffered a lower body injury. He is listed as week to week after injuring it in last night's game against Detroit, which means he will not be available for the start of the regular season for the Maple Leafs. The Buffalo Sabres are missing two key pieces on their roster. Goaltender Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and defenseman Michael Kessering are out with undisclosed injuries. They've both been ruled out week to week, will be reevaluated next week, but it doesn't seem like they will be ready for opening night. So those are tough injury blows for the Sabres, who are looking to take that next step as a team this year. Pittsburgh Penguins forward Brian Rust is out at least 2 weeks with a lower body injury. He's going to miss the season opener. He is a potential trade deadline candidate for the Penguins. So someone that had a career year last year is not going to be available for the start of Pittsburgh at the beginning of the season. So we'll see how that injury progresses over this year. And finally, Edmonton Oilers signed head coach Chris Knobloch to a 3-year contract extension that runs through the 2028-2029 season. He was entering the final year of his deal. So nice piece of work to get their bench boss locked up. Elsewhere in sports, the MLB playoffs division series starts tomorrow with the Cubs at the Milwaukee Brewers in the afternoon. Matthew Boyd will get game 1 for the Cubs. So hopefully he can pick up where he left off in that last series against the San Diego Padres. And then other game 1s, the Yankees at Blue Jays, Dodgers at Phillies, and Tigers at Mariners. It's been a very entertaining MLB postseason so far. Meanwhile, here at the UC, Hawks are up 2-0 on the Minnesota Wild. We'll take a quick break and then break down some more action from that first period. You're listening to Blackhawks Hockey on 720 WGN.
Chicago's very own WGN. When and where you want us.
When you're betting and find yourself constantly thinking about gambling and you're losing more money than you have, are you really winning? If you're spending too much time with the slots or you can't stop betting on sports and you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, maybe lying, and probably losing more money than you can afford to lose, you're not alone and you can get help. It's available 24/7 and it's confidential. When your betting has gotten out of hand, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.areyoureallywinning.com. Sponsored by the Illinois Department of Human Services.
Retirement is your reward for a lifetime of hard work. But have you planned for the potential cost of long-term care? Hi, this is Brian Gordon, president of Gordon Associates, where we offer long-term care insurance. As people live longer, the likelihood of needing long-term care increases. Without a plan, those costs can impact your retirement savings and put a huge financial burden on your family. Gordon Associates has been helping families for over 50 years protect their health, retirement, and loved ones. We sit down with families to discuss their insurance options with no cost or obligation. Let us help you create a plan that ensures your care and preserves your financial security. Don't leave the future to chance. Secure your retirement, protect your family, and create a long-term care insurance plan today with Gordon Associates. Call us at 800-533-6242 or visit bestltcplan.com. Gordon Associates Long-Term Care Planning Insurance, because peace of mind is priceless.
For breaking legal news on the hottest issues, tune into Legal Face Off on WGNradio.com, hosted by Rich Lenkoff and Tina Martini, and brought to you by McCorkle Litigation Services.
Back here at the United Center, Hawks up 2-0 on the Minnesota Wild through 20 minutes of play. Just looking at some of the stats of that first period, Artem Levshunov led the way for the Blackhawks in ice time, and I believe, doing some quick math here, yes, he led all skaters in ice time, 8 minutes and 34 seconds for Levshunov in that first period. He was a +1, had 3 shot attempts. One of them hit the net. Also had a couple giveaways, and this is the thing with Levshunov is he's probably going to have some of those giveaways where it looks a little glaring, but those are some of the mistakes that he's going to make. But the upside of his game offensively is so immense that you almost kind of have to live with them. And so it's going to be part of the growing process for a young defenseman like Levshunov. Looking at the face-off numbers, not great for Chicago, only 4 wins on 18 of those draws that they took. Dickinson won just 1 of his 6. Ryan Donato won the other, Frank Nazar and Connor Bedard as well. So that's an area that Chicago is certainly going to need to improve in this year, because when you're in the low 40%, that's really hard to overcome, John.
It really is. And I think that's one reason that Michael Pekka was hired as an assistant coach. I was with Michael with the New York Islanders from 2001 until 2004. He left during the 04-05 lockout and went to Edmonton. But I recall how good he was at the dot. And like, he wasn't Yannick Perreault good. Yannick Perreault was just all world. But Michael was very strong at the dot. He was particularly strong at defensive zone draws. And his technique was, it didn't look any different from anybody else's. He was just really good at winning faceoffs. So if he can work with the Blackhawk players, maybe give them just little subtle tips that they can employ in their games, in their faceoff games, I think that the numbers should come up. They've got to come up, because Charlie, last year the faceoff win percentage was in the bottom 10th of the league. Okay, bottom 10th. I'm not going to pick the number out, but the Blackhawks surrendered the most 5-on-5 goals in the NHL, and they surrendered 23 empty net goals. A lot of those were because of clean face-off losses, all of those goals. So if they can cut that number by a third, that's going to be an immeasurable jump, a quantum leap for them. And who knows where it'll go as far as points in the standings are concerned.
Yeah, the Hawks have been really spoiled in the face-off department leading into this new era, because they had Jonathan Taves that was able to win on command. They have Yannick Perreault in their development. He's the NHL's all-time leader in face-off win percentage. I think he's the only guy that is 60% or higher in NHL history, and he took so many face-offs. And so the Hawks are really fortunate to have a guy like him and Michael Pekka, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it can only help. Michael Pekka's going to help in other ways. We were talking about the Frank Selke Trophy. Michael won a Frank Selke Trophy in the 2001-02 season.
I think he won 2.
Well, in his career, he may have. I have to check, but I can tell you this: during the era where he played, he understood what it was for a forward to play defensively. And I think about what Troy says from time to time about that aspect of play and how underrated it is to the success of a hockey team. I've worked with him 20 years now. Okay. The one constant in that time with Troy has been his belief that the faceoffs can dictate really even a whole season for a team. Like, if you've got good faceoff people, you have the puck, you don't spend all that time chasing it. And so when you have puck possession, you dictate what's going to happen. So it goes back to the origination point of it, which is the face-off.
All right, John's going to take a couple more sips of his minestrone soup.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to throw it to break, and we'll have more Blackhawks hockey coming up on the other side on 720 WGN.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago. WGN.
Cold weather and hockey season go together hand in hand, but your home isn't a hockey rink, and you want it to be the perfect temperature no matter the season. With Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning mini split systems, you get the ultimate comfort and efficiency every time, even in those difficult to heat places in your home. Their units are designed to deliver consistent comfort where you need it most. Check out Mitsubishi electric heating and cooling mini split systems today at getacomfyhome.com.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Chicagoland's premier name in bridal and engagement rings is Rasny Jewelers. If you're ring shopping, Rasny Jewelers is your destination for exceptional quality. Far from the corporate chains, diamond wholesalers, and online sites pushing mass-produced diamonds and settings, with Rasny Jewelers, you'll own a natural diamond with inherent value, handpicked for maximum brilliance with no middleman markups. She's going to look at that ring every day for the rest of her life. Make the right decision. Rasny Jewelers is a local family-owned business you can trust. They've spent 7 decades building an amazing reputation. Rasny diamonds are tops in quality, cut, and sparkle. At other places, it's a salesperson making a transaction. At Rasny Jewelers, it's the start of a relationship. Their team will share their expertise so you're confident in your choice. Rasny Jewelers, Chicagoland's local jeweler. Addison, Hinsdale, Highland Park, and Chicago's Gold Coast. Online at rasny.com.
From dull floors to the latest innovations, Lou Manfredini's guest interviews on How Smarts Radio inspire Chicago homeowners. Tune in Saturday, sponsored by Simple Flooring, floors that inspire every step.
Up next, the second period. Here's Charlie Rebelliotis with your recap.
Back here at the United Center, the Hawks and Wild are on the ice for the start of the second period. Hawks up 2-0. Thanks to goals by Frank Nazar and Nick Foligno. Nazar, by the way, his 4th goal of the season, preseason, and Nick Foligno his first. So a really strong first period for Chicago. What's on Deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing, #1 in premium decking. Order free samples at TimberTech.com. What's our on deck for this second period? Just more of the same in the first, I think?
I'm going to go off the grid here, Charlie, because of the Cubs' success. I'm going to say hopefully every Cubs hitter that's on deck is going to step to the plate and help them to advance their cause. I'm just excited that the Cubs are able to win their playoff series and now have advanced to the second round. It's good on them. Keep her going, boys. Love to see the success of the Northsiders.
See, the first playoff win for the Cubs in front of fans since like 2007. Is it 17? 2017.
I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. Underway here in the second period. Wild attacking. Matthew Boldy, top of the left circle, Hawk zone, fires a wrist shot in on goal and a glove save there by Spencer Knight. Holds the puck long enough for the linesman to come by and take it out of his glove. Face-off will be in the circle to Knight's right. Only 32 seconds into the second period. I want to go back to something we talked about a little bit. Didn't touch on it too much. Sam Renzel shooting the puck. His shot, it just appears that when he fires that wrist shot as he does, it becomes a very tippable puck. And a guy like Nick Foligno has been around the number of years that he has and knows how to tip pucks. You know, it was like they set that up for him almost. I mean, stick in the right position. And he had the good fortune of getting a stick on it for the goal. But it goes back to what I said about Renzel. I like the way he handles himself. And when he takes a shot, you know, he doesn't have to blow out the end of the building with it, but he puts it toward the net for a tip. Here's Schlager breaking into the Wild zone. Left circle. He'll fire. And a shoulder save made by Gustafson. In the far corner, Eli Mikheyev fighting off of a check. Lost the puck. It's taken away by Urhoff, and he'll backhand the puck down into the Hawk zone. Matt Grzelcyk doubling back. Passing over to Sam Renzel. Sam Renzel at center ice on the right wing tried to fire the pass ahead for Jason Dickinson. He hit Dickinson with the pass. Dickinson grabs the puck and lifts it into the Wild zone. Ryan Donato was knocked down at center ice as he collided with one of the Wild players and lost his stick. Now a penalty is going to be called here to the Hawks as Andre Burakovsky, reaching for a puck, trying to take it away from Ryan Hartman, pulled Hartman down. Wild go to the power play for the first time. Penalty at 1:41 of period number 2.
Number 28, Chicago's got a minor for tripping.
Well, there it is.
Well, Blackhawks had their power play opportunity in the first, and now it's Minnesota's turn here early in the second period on some fresh ice, and we're going to see the first look of Kirill Kaprizov and Vladimir Tarasenko on this power play. Joel Eriksson-Ek and Matthew Boldy. It's pretty strong first unit, and then you have Zeke Bouillon that's manning the point here for Minnesota, who's likely going to be doing in that role for many years to come for them.
Absolutely. Wild get possession off the draw at the right point. Matthew Boldy to Kaprizov through the high slot to Tarasenko left circle. Back to the line, Bouillon. The left point to Tarasenko along the left boards. To Kaprizov back of the net. Feeds a pass in front. This deflects to Nazar. He'll skate it through center ice over the Wild line on the left wing. And then backhands a soft one in on goal. Stick save made by Gustafsson. And the Wild are back the other way, led by Boldy. Nazar heads to the bench. Kaprizov into the Hawk zone. Right point to Bouillon in the left wing circle. He carries down behind the net, drops it off. Boldy top of the left circle. Now to Tarasenko. Shoots and scores. Vladimir Tarasenko from inside the left circle fired a shot, and it looked like Spencer Knight got the cheater portion of his glove on that shot, but it deflected back into the net. It's a power play goal, and the Wild are back to within a goal of the Hawks, trailing 2-1.
Yeah, Knight was a little bit deep in his net, so there was some room up top on the right side, and Vladimir Tarasenko picks that corner like he always does and has done as a member of the St. Louis Blues. But Frank Nazar was hauling the other way to try to create a shorthanded opportunity, and he headed towards the bench on the back check, and Ilya Mikheyev jumped onto the ice a little bit late, so the Hawks were a little bit disoriented coming back into the zone, and that's what led to Minnesota getting that grade A opportunity.
So it's Tarasenko from Boldy. The goal at 2:29 of period number 2 makes it 2-1 in favor of the Hawks. We rejoin the play. Marcus Johansson with the puck left wing corner Hawk zone. Being bothered by Matt Grzelcyk. Grzelcyk pokes the puck up the boards, not out. Bogosian from the left point. Fired a wrister that went wide. Now Burakovsky at center ice. Tried to make a little pass across. Intended for Connor Bedard. The pass never got there. Puck ends up in the Wild zone, and they come out. That's center ice. This is David Jiricek. Firing the puck down in behind the Hawk net to the near corner. Rinzel got it there. Over to Grzelcyk. Bank pass up the right wing intended for Sam Lafferty. Never got there. Lafferty doubling back to center ice. Takes the puck and sends a roller into the left wing corner in the Minnesota zone. Brock Faber there. Sent it across the Middleton. He'll fire it up the right side into the Hawks zone. The Hawks take it back. Murphy hit hard by Trenyon along the near boards, but fights off the check and passes ahead. Puck ends up down in behind the Wild net. Nick Foligno digs it out to Murphy along the right side boards. Tried to poke check it to the corner. Trenyon took it away, and he'll stick it ahead, and this ends up down ice into the Hawk zone. Nolan Allen behind the net. Fires a pass up the left wing, and look out, that hit a stick and deflects into the Wild bench. So we get a whistle stopping play. 16:08 left in period number 2, 2-1 in favor of the Hawks.
The Blackhawks have a lot of firepower on their penalty kill up front this year. That's something I'm going to be watching to see how many shorthanded opportunities they're able to get. I wouldn't be surprised if they're near the top of the league in shorthanded goals this year, because you look at the speed on with the forwards for Chicago this year, and Frank Nazar and Ilya Mikheyev, Landon Slaggert, Sam Lafferty, all these guys are going to get opportunity on the penalty kill. And you just saw it there, Frank Nazar having a chance right before Minnesota scored. So that's an area where I think it might catch power plays off guard this year if you're an opponent.
Now, they had 5 last year, and Ilya Mikheyev, you were talking about him, he had 3 of those 5. So I agree. I think it could be a lot of fun to watch. Now we get back to the play. Spurgeon from the right point Hawk zone. A long wrist shot is gloved out of the air by Spencer Knight.
And then Levshinoff went to push one of the Wild players out of the fray, and Marcus Foligno comes down right next to Artyom Levshinoff and put a little, looked like almost a friendly headlock, one-armed headlock on him there. Linesmen make him cease and desist. Face-off circle to the left of Spencer Knight. Dickinson on with his line. The aforementioned Landon Slaggert. And also Ilya Mikheyev. Circle to the left of Knight. Marco Rossi's been tossed off the dot from Feldkirch, Austria. Draw one by the Wild. Spurs in at the right point. Flips it down behind the Hawk net. Kaprizov shot into the boards there by Nolan Allen, who then got a stick up around Kaprizov's ear, and a penalty is going to be assessed here. Allen and Kaprizov were doing a little bit of a battle preceding that skirmish, if you will. And Allen was trying to push Kaprizov away from the front of the net. He got a stick up a little high.
Number 42, Chicago's got a minor for high sticking.
Well, Minnesota's going to go right back on the power play where they scored their lone goal a few minutes ago on their first shot by Vladimir Tarasenko. So it's a redemptive opportunity for Chicago to get back on the right track in the PK. And we got Frank Nazar out there with Teuvo Teravainen up front.
Penalty at 4:23 of the second period off the faceoff in the Hawks zone. The Hawks get control. Wyatt Kaiser will wheel behind the net and then fire the puck all the way down. And here's Zeev Bouillon carrying to center ice on the left wing side. Steps over the center ice circle, drops the puck off net. Boldy to Tarasenko over the line to the left point. Shot it across to Eriksson Ek. Put it down behind the net. And it's taken there now by Kaprizov, who dropped it over to Boldy, who fired from the right circle, and that deflects up and out of play. We get a whistle. Face-off stays in the Hawk zone. This will be in the circle to Spencer Knight's left. 1:29 left on the Hawk penalty.
It's really interesting to watch Kaprizov work on the power play because he can literally play any position. Like I've seen him in the bumper, the right wall, the left wall, net front. He can quarterback it if he needs to. But he's really a special player for the Wild.
Wild control. Bouillon from the high slot now. Dropping it over. Boldy, top of the right circle. Drops it bottom of the right circle. Eriksson Ek back to Boldy in the deep slot. He'll back up with the puck to the right point. Then drop it there. Kaprizov. Shot it in front of the net. This deflects through to the near sideboards. And Mikheyev tried to clear it out of the zone. Could not. Dickinson slams Bouillon into the boards while off the puck, but it's taken back by Tarasenko. From the right wing side of the Hawk zone, he backhands the puck across the rink, and this ends up back at center ice. Kaprizov back into the Hawk zone down the left wing. A drop past Tarasenko. Tried a little slap pass to the right point. Boldy got to it finally. Sent it back across Tarasenko along the left sideboards, then left wing corner. Carries behind the Hawk net. Kept it away from Murphy. Moves it around. Boldy, right point. Now into the left wing circle for Kaprizov. To Tarasenko, left corner. Back to Kaprizov. And he trying to make a pass across the rink. This deflects out to center ice. Wild back into the Hawk zone, led by Boldy to Eriksson Ek down the left side. To Kaprizov in the left wing corner. He'll walk the puck in behind the Hawk net. Kaprizov to the right wing corner. Tried to center that hit Kaiser in the side of the skate. 12 seconds of the power play. Kaprizov shot it across to Bouillon, left point. Back over to Kaprizov, right circle. To Rossi in the slot. To Kaprizov, right corner to Boldy, left circle. One too many passes. This deflects away. Hawks come to full strength. And now Allen is out of the box. Strips the puck away from Bouillon, but the Hawks can't clear. Rossi held it in. And here's Boldy to the puck in the left wing corner. Check from behind into the boards by Murphy. And the Wild players taking exception to that. And now we're going to get a little bit of a scrap. Maybe a dust up or two. Oh, and a big pile of hockey players in the corner to Spencer Knight's right. It looks like a great big rugby scrum right now. The boys pushing and shoving, some with the hand and glove types of punches. And Nolan Allen has one of the Wild players measured and held out. I believe that's Marco Rossi. The linesman reaching in to say, okay, that's enough, big guy, let go. And order is seemingly restored here. But you have to kind of expect this from divisional rivals who are going to see a lot of each other this year. Makes things interesting. We'll take a break. 13-19 left in the second. Still 2-1 in favor of the Hawks. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey, Jeremy Roenick here. I've seen a lot of stat sheets in my career, but when it comes to beer, these numbers jump off the page. Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and brewed with crisp, refreshing flavor. That's not just light beer, it's light beer with game, and it's brewed by the oldest brewery in America. Bottom line, if you care about performance and taste, Flight by Yingling brings both. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, PA.
Enjoy 7 days of savings online and in store during Blaine's Farm and Fleet Days, going on now. Shop your favorite brands and seasonal supplies at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like Tide Simply Laundry Detergents, just $8.99. 10% off assorted Hillman hardware. 40-pound bags of Diamond Crystal Iron Fighter softener pellets, $7.50 for rewards members. Plus, order online and pick your items up in just 1 hour in our convenient drive-thru. Find the value you need online and in store during Blaine's Farm and Fleet Days, going on now.
Marquette Bank has been helping neighbors, families, and business owners in Chicagoland for 80 years. 80 years is a long time. When you bank with Marquette Bank, you know your banker. You have access to a team of real professionals to help you make smarter financial decisions. When you bank with Marquette Bank, good things happen for you and your neighborhood. Marquette Bank, love where you bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 462926.
This is Chris Chelios, and you're listening to Blackhawks Hockey. Now back to the game.
Back here at the United Center, the Blackhawks clinging to a 2-1 lead against Minnesota. Things have slowly started to settle down after a scrum that ensued after a big hit by Connor Murphy on Matthew Boldy, but the Blackhawks are back at full strength after that successful penalty kill, which is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine Orthopedics, or on a relentless pursuit of better medicine. That felt more like regular season hockey, getting chippy between the two division rivals.
It did. It had the intensity, the passion, if you will. Matching minors, by the way, Jacob Middleton and Ilya Mikheyev, 2 each for roughing. I don't think Mikheyev did that much. I think they got the wrong guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're going to get some 4-on-4 action here, so a lot of ice.
Yeah. That's going to, as you said, open up the ice. The Wild have some very dangerous players in this situation. See if the Hawks can match them here. I'd love to see Sam Renzel take the puck and go for a little skate and work his way through the Wild players for a chance. He's got Connor Bedard out there with company. Andre Burakovsky. And on the far side of the rink, I can't tell which Blackhawk player that is. He's got his back turned away from us. Is that Matt Grizzly?
Yes.
I think it is. Okay. Face off just outside the Hawk blue line and in front of the Wild bench, controlled by the Wild. Kaprizov back in the Minnesota zone to Brock Faber between the circles. To Zeev Buium back in the Wild net, and he'll move it out to center ice. Kaprizov over the center ice circle. Took it over the Hawk blue line. Kaprizov to the right point now. Then to the line. Set it in front of the net. Redirected on goal by Buium. Turned out of there nicely by Knight. Hawks get possession. Grzelcyk back of the net. Passing up the left wing side. Burakovsky center ice. Goes rink wide to Renzel. Crossing the Wild line. He made a drop pass back to center ice to Bedard. Bedard then lost the puck into the Wild zone. The Wild will get it back. 1:18 left in the coincidental minors. Into the Hawk zone. Buium. Fed it now to the right wing circle of Faber. A little slap pass ends up going wide. Wild get it back. Buium into the right circle. Look out. He backhands it in front of the net. And that goes all the way through to the near corner. Wild get it back to Kaprizov from the bottom of the right circle. Fired a tough angle shot. Knight knocked that wide with the shoulder. Here's Buium now retreating with the puck back to the Wild blue line. And then a headman pass for Boldy broken up. Hawks get it back. Nazar breaking into the Wild zone down the left wing. We get a whistle as this is going to be ruled offside. And we may get a too many men on the ice penalty here to the Hawks. I think that's what we're going to get. So apparently this play was onside, but when Nazar touched the puck, Frederick Lecuyer blew the whistle, and then he gave the circular motion with his hand, signifying too many men on the ice. So the Wild will get a power play out of this.
I think it was too many on the ice for Chicago, because both, was it Burakovsky and Bedard? Both of them were heading off the ice. They were both of them still had their feet on the ice and not over the bench yet. Yeah. And Nazar jumped out there. So this is the third penalty third power play for Minnesota in this period.
So Sam Lafferty serves the penalty. The Wild have a 4-against-3 power play now for the next 35. Tarasenko left circle, Boldy high slot, put it over, and a shot from Kaprizov from the right circle, kicked out by Knight. And then Kaprizov mishandles the puck at the Hawk blue line, and this bleeds down to the Wild blue line. Boldy back to get it. Boldy crossing a Hawk line down the right wing. Wedged off the puck nicely by Kaiser, who works it free, and then Kaprizov took it back behind the net. Around to Eriksson Ek along the right boards. The Boldy right corner. Put it behind the Hawk net left corner. Kaprizov. He'll leave it there for Matthew Boldy. Now bottom of the left wing circle. Send it over to Kaprizov right circle. Put it down the side of the net. Eriksson Ek. Now a player from each side comes out of the penalty box. Ilya Mikheyev out there. A shot blocked now by Kaiser. Mikheyev breaks back through center. Over the Wild line left wing. Tried to cut in front of the net. He lost the puck in the skates of one of the Wild players. 58 seconds left on the Wild power play. A pass from the Wild zone by Boldy deflects wide to the Hawk net. Eriksson Ek jostled off the puck there by Landon Slaggert. But the Wild retain the puck. William bedded over. Boldy, top of the right circle. Shoots. He scores. Well, that was a unique play set up by the Wild. They had 3 players lined up just inside the Hawk blue line. One with the puck at the left point, one in the deep slot area, one over near the right point, and that was Boldy. The player in the deep slot area let the pass go by to Boldy, who then had an open lane to shoot at, and he buried it. We're tied at 2.
It was a double screen for Spencer Knight. One of them was his own player, and the other was Joel Eriksson Ek, which it may have grazed his jersey, because after Boldy shot this puck, he pointed right at Eriksson Ek. Unless he was just crediting him for the screen, but nonetheless, this is a 2-2 game now.
That's another power play goal. The Wild now 2 for 3 on their power play here tonight. As we rejoin the play, Levshunov waving the puck into the Wild zone. Taken away by the Wild. A pass ahead by Jiricek, picked off of the Hawk blue line. Teravainen into the Wild line. Sticks the puck off the right side boards and down, but the Wild will take it back. Here's Hartman. Lead pass to center ice, picked off by Bertuzzi over the center ice circle. Then Hartman gathers in and again. Carries into the Hawk zone. Had it knocked away, but right to Johansson in the high slot. Johansson in the left wing corner now. Waves the puck behind the net. Around it goes to Jiricek along the right boards. To Johansson behind the net, then to the left wing corner. Put it to the line, Zach Bogosian. To Johansson left point. Long shot from there. Deflects toward the net. Never got through. Hartman got it back from the left wing boards. He centers. This is picked off by Tyler Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi carries out the center ice up the left wing in front of the Hawks bench. He'll sling the puck down into the Wild zone and then go have a seat on the Hawk bench. Meanwhile, puck kept in at the left point by Nolan Allen. Head to Colton Dock. He'll fling it down behind the Wild net. Bogosian spins it around, and Jiricek will flip the puck down ice into the Hawk end. Nolan Allen between the circles. Passing it ahead at center ice to Colton Dock. He deflects the puck off the end boards in the Wild zone. Jiricek then sends it ahead. Here are the Wild on the attack. Nico Sturm buried with a body check right at the Hawk blue line by Connor Murphy. And now we're going to get a scrap. Nick Foligno and Yakov Trenin decide to get together. It was a clean hit by Murphy. And Trenin doesn't like the fact that his teammate was hit so hard. Went over to his defense. And that's where Nick Foligno came to the scene. And he and Yakov Trenin had a little discussion. I thought we'd get a scrap out of this, but none given. But Yakov Trenin is going to get the gate here. 9:17 left in period number 2. 2-2 is the score. Let's pick up
number
this call.
3 man, he's got a minor for roughing.
So there's the call. 9:17 left in period number 2 of a 2-2 game. We'll be back with the Hawks power play after this. You're listening to Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
It's Tom Stilling, and you're listening to Blackhawks hockey on WGN Radio.
What if you could restore blood flow to someone's failing lungs in a matter of seconds? Our patient Mike had hard-to-reach blood clots deep in his lungs that were putting his heart under major duress, causing it to fail too. He could hardly climb a few steps. But thanks to a procedure pioneered by the Northwestern Memorial Hospital Interventional Cardiology Team, we cleared the clots with a minimally invasive procedure.
Anchored by the top heart and vascular program in Illinois by U.S. News and World Report, only Northwestern Medicine had the solution to save Mike. Tiny balloons were used to gently open the delicate vessels and restore blood flow. Northwestern Memorial Hospital was the first in Illinois to master this breakthrough method.
As Mike's nurse, I'm proud to have been a part of his journey from oxygen tank to breathing like a kid again.
Northwestern Medicine. What makes us better makes you better.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
Permaseal, the leader in basement waterproofing, also offers foundation repair, concrete restoration, and attic insulation. Call 800-421-SEAL or visit permaseal.net.
Kelly Meliodas and John Weideman here at the United Center. Hey, Blackhawks fans, want to suit up like the pros? Now you can. The brand new Centennial jersey is here. Whether you're at the arena, watching with friends, or repping the Hawks around town, this is the jersey to celebrate our 100-year legacy in style. Don't wait. You can grab yours today in stores or online at cbhshop.com.
That is a must-have for every Hawks fan out there. And really, in the holiday season, you're really going to see that pick up because that is a classic hockey sweater and a commemorative one as well. 100 years for the Chicago Blackhawks. Just well done, whoever it was that designed it. It's a thing of beauty. Hawks on their third Citgo power play score savings on every fill-up with Club Citgo. Download the app now to start saving. Hawks gain the wild zone. Rinzel in the high slot. Holding. Put it over right circle. Teravainen puts it on goal. And Gustafsson down with a butterfly save to hold on. Whistle stopping play. Face-off circle to Gustafsson's left. Good puck movement there. I think the Hawks were... At times, when they have a power play, they can pass a little too often. I think they look very deliberate on that particular sequence.
It's nice to see the Blackhawks get this Citgo power play, too, because we were talking right before this off air that was a clean hit by Connor Murphy. He's been physical in this, and it was Minnesota is defending their guy, but it was nice to see Chicago get a power play out of this because they didn't do much. The last one, it was a coincidental minors.
Now Rinzel kept the puck in at the line. A good play there by Teravainen to get to a loose puck in the slot and swat it down to the front of the net where Nazar took a swing at it, but Gustafsson kept it out of the net, and the puck is shot down by Marcus Foligno. Here's Teravainen to center ice to Rinzel. Breaks in over the wild line. Looked like he was not necessarily tripped, but hit on the way in. And we get a whistle now on a hand pass called here against Connor Bedard. You could tell what Rinzel was trying to do. He was trying to split the defense and work his way through him for a clean opportunity at the wild net. And I believe it was Marcus Foligno that caught him. Yep. On second look, it was Marcus Foligno. And Marcus and his brother Nick are very like-minded, great people. And they're both tough as nails. And they're both good-sized guys, too. So you get hit by Marcus, you're going to know it. Here's Ryan Donato picking up a handoff at center ice and over the wild blue line. Works his way to the left wing corner, then is tied up and ridden into the boards by Middleton. Puck kept alive, left point by Levshunov. Top of the left circle now, Burakovsky. Hard shot is off the headgear of Gustafsson and then down into the glove. And he'll hold on in the wild crease. And as I thought, shakes off the glove, pull the headgear off, give his head a little bit of a shake out the cobwebs. You ever get hit around the head with a hockey puck? I mean, with a helmet on or anything like that? It gets your attention real quick.
I can't even imagine what that feels like. Trying to recompose yourself immediately after to take the next shot.
Yeah. Levshunov has the puck inside the high slot area. Leaves it there. Burakovsky, hard wrist shot. Blocked at the defense. Burakovsky, left wing corner. Fed it up the slot. Levshunov will delay and then fires, and that goes over the net. He's going for the top left corner. Colton Dock held the puck in left point. Down to Burakovsky along the left boards to Nick Foligno behind the net. Sent it back for Burakovsky. The pass handcuffed him, and it banks through center ice and down as the Wild come back to full strength.
Oh, Levshunov was so frustrated that he missed that net wide. He took his hand off his stick and stared at the heavens. Some of the guys on the Blackhawks bench are laughing at his reaction.
Mikheyev into the Wild zone, stripped to the puck in the far corner there by Spurgeon, who passes ahead to Marcus Foligno, and then he leads a pass ahead into the Hawk zone. Zeev Buium was late getting there. The Hawks get it back, and the puck cleared to the line no further. Now they battle for it along the right sideboards. Here's Trennan, who turned it over to Ilya Mikheyev of the Hawks. To Landon Slaggert. Breaks into the Wild zone down the right wing. He was held up by Zeev Buium. Another penalty will be called here. This will be to Buium of the Wild. And the Hawks are going to get their fourth Citgo power play on the game. Score savings on every fill-up with Club Citgo. Download the app now to start saving. 0 for 3 so far.
Minnesota number 8, 2 minutes, holding.
All right, so the Blackhawks were 0 for 6 on the power play on Tuesday. They're it says 0 for 2, John, unless there was a really abbreviated power play that we might have missed. There have been so many penalties that it's been hard to keep track. But anyway, the Hawks are still searching for their first power play goal in the last couple games. Let's see if they can finally get one on net because they've been generating chances.
Yeah. Well, they were 0 for 6 against the Red Wings a couple nights ago. So let's see if they can light the lamp here. Rinzel back through center ice over the Wild blue line on the right wing. Jostled into the boards by Boldy. Lost the puck down behind the net. Middleton tried to clear it out. Nice keep in at the left point by Teravainen. Here's Teuvo Teravainen. Floats a saucer pass to the right point to Rinzel. He spins it down behind the Wild net. Bertuzzi let it go to the left wing corner to Bedard. To the left point, Teravainen. The Nazar in the right wing circle. Tried to send it across to Bedard. That hit a Wild player skate and ricochets down ice into the Hawk end. 1:18 on the power play as Rinzel wheels back to center ice over the logo. Turns and drops it off to Bedard. Back through center and over the Wild blue line. And reaching in there was Eriksson Ek to poke check it away to Boldy, and he'll clear it down. So far, nothing doing for the Hawks in the power play with 1 minute left. Artyom Levshunov will now lead the rush out to center ice. Drops it off to Donato. Donato coming by. Sent it in over the line on the left wing to Doc. To Donato, left wing corner. Slings it behind the Wild net to the right wing corner. Nick Foligno working against his brother Marcus. Put it back to the right point, Levshunov. To the high slot, Burakovsky. To Donato beside the net. Slung it in front. This is off of Doc's stick. Nick Foligno got it back. Put the puck to the left wing corner. Burakovsky there. Lost the puck to Marcus Foligno. He'll calmly hand it ahead to Joel Eriksson Ek, who clears it down. 25 seconds left on the Hawk power play. Eriksson Ek knocked off the puck at center ice by Nick Foligno of the Hawks. Nolan Allen hands the puck now to Foligno. Nick Foligno at the Wild blue line. Shot it down the glass behind the net. Jacob Middleton grabs the puck. Works it around the far side. Ryan Donato took it away to Nolan Allen in the high slot. He had a stick slap from behind by Matthew Boldy. Actually, Trennan, a slashing motion. No penalty call. Buium's out of the box and has the puck. Steps into the Hawk zone at the left point. Put it down behind the net to the right wing corner to Jakob Trennan. To Brock Faber, right point. He turned the puck over to Ilya Mikheyev. Now Dickinson takes a pass. Races into the Wild zone on a breakaway and fires on a shoulder save made by Gustafsson. Good chance for the Hawks. Murphy from the right point. Drives it off the inboards and behind the net. Middleton grabs the puck, put it around Rossi on the near sideboards. Head to Trennan. And he had the puck stripped away in front of the penalty boxes by Ilya Mikheyev. Now Trennan and Murphy jostle at the Hawk blue line. Puck snapped into the Hawk zone by Kaprizov. Nolan Allen's got it there. Put it over to Connor Murphy. Murphy at center ice on the right wing. They'll sling it down the boards deep into the Wild zone. Caught in the far corner by Middleton. Actually now put it to Faber behind his net. Now to Middleton behind the Wild net. Then to Faber along the left side boards. Passing it ahead. Johansson over the Hawk line. He'll drop it off to Rossi. To Buium. He turned it over along the far side boards. And then following up now was Grizzly to poke check the puck out to center ice, and the Wild take it back. Zeev Buium, Wild blue line on the left wing side. Sends the puck ahead of the Hawk line. Johansson, who is tripped, and a penalty going to be called here to the Hawks. As Grzelcyk touches, the whistle blows. We'll see which one of the Hawks is the guilty party. We'll tell you about it after the break. 3:02 left in period number 2. 2-2 the score. Wild power play when we return on Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Give people a place to gather and make fire the focal point of your home again. With a majestic fireplace or insert, you'll enjoy the warmth and ambiance of fire with contemporary style and the latest technology. Whether you're looking for wood, electric, or gas, indoors or out, Majestic offers a broad range of sizes and styles. Visit their showroom on Bowes Road in Elgin or call for a free estimate. 847-741-5903. 847-741-5903. House of Fireplaces, giving you a warm feeling since 1953.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Hey Hawks fans, this is Connor Murphy. Let's get back to John and Troy on 720 WGN.
Back here at the United Center, Hawks and Wild are knotted up at 2-2 with 3:02 left here in the second period. Tonight's broadcast is sponsored by Flight by Yuengling. Crisp, refreshing, only 95 calories. Flight, the next generation of light beer.
So the face-off in the Hawk zone to the right of Knight is going to be Frank Nazar facing off with Joel Eriksson-Ek, who wins this face-off for Minnesota. William took it at the left point. Put the puck down the boards. Tarasenko back to William at the line to Tarasenko. Quick pass across the rink. Boldy from the right point tried to fire. Picked off by Murphy, and he'll backhand the puck off the glass into the Wild end. Now back to get the puck Wild line, Matthew Boldy. To Vladimir Tarasenko through center ice and over the hot glue line. Drops it along the right boards. Eriksson-Ek around to Boldy, left corner. Sent it in front of the net. Eriksson-Ek became entangled with Teuvo Teravainen. They were jousting with one another. Wild get possession. Kaprizov behind the net. Put it out to the right point, Bouillon. He's now in the high slot, drops it over. And a shot from Kaprizov on the right circle was stopped in front with the stick of Knight. Teravainen will clear the puck down, and the Hawks hurriedly changing up their penalty killer. 105 on the Hawk power play, Hawk penalty kill. Here's Bouillon weaving through center and over the Hawk line down the right wing. Nice hands there. Carries behind the net and then had the puck stripped away. Murphy clears to the line no further. Kept in by the Wild. Here's Hartman from the right circle firing a shot off the end of the glove of Spencer Knight. Murphy now behind the net. He'll make sure this time he clears it up the right side glass and down, and he'll get off on a change. Now 38 seconds left on the Wild power play. Hartman to a pass there from Kaprizov down the right wing of the Hawk zone. Coughed up the puck. Kaiser behind the net. Knocks down Kaprizov. Put the puck around, but not out. Kept in by the Wild. Rossi, top of the left circle to Kaprizov, bottom of the left circle. Tough angle shot. Hit the side of the post. Rossi from the left wing boards to Kaprizov. Now behind the net. Fed it up the slot. Hartman shoots. He scores. I believe this hit Wyatt Kaiser's skate and worked its way past Spencer Knight. It's another power play goal. The Wild have been very successful on their power play here tonight. That's their third, and they now lead 3-2.
Yep, you're right, John. This goes right off the stick of Wyatt Kaiser and into the back of the net. That's the third power play goal of the period for the Minnesota Wild, who are now up 3-2 after Chicago led 2-0 in the first period. Kaprizov was out there for essentially the full 2 minutes while they changed up to their second unit, and he was the guy that fed Hartman in the slot to make it 3-2.
Yeah. Wild 3 for 4 on their power play, and they've looked good. Here's Faber firing a pass ahead that misses everybody, and it goes down for icing against the Wild. You look at that assemblage of talent on their power play. There's no shortage there. There's no weak spot in that unit of 5, and I'm impressed with this kid, Zeeb Buyum. He's shown some great skating ability and some great hands.
Yeah, with Zeeb Buyum up there as the top power play quarterback for Minnesota, that bumps Brock Faber to the second unit. And so those are two pretty good power play quarterbacks for the Minnesota Wild. And we were mentioning Tarasenko. Now that he's on the other flank on the power play with Kaprizov, it's a pretty strong combination for them.
Here's Renzel pumping one in from the right point. That's into the breadbasket of Gustafsson. He lets the puck drop into his glove, holds it there. Face-off circle to his left now with under a minute to play in period number 2. Building is quieted down a little bit here. Let's see if the Hawks can do something to enliven this partisan throng. Bedard to face off against Hartman. And Hartman wins this draw to the corner. Middleton there. Sent it up the boards. Bedard waving at it. Took it away to Ryan Donato through the high slot. Couldn't get a clean shot away. Blocked by Faber. Donato tried to sling it across. This is picked off by the Wild. Hartman will clear it ahead up the left wing side and down into the Hawk zone. Renzel takes the puck away from a Wild player and moves it off the left boards to center ice. The Wild get it back. Middleton with a bouncing puck. Head to Faber. And we get a whistle as this puck has been knocked out of the air by a high stick. Now 25 seconds left in the frame. Still 3-2 in favor of Minnesota. Wild, as I recall, last year they were a good second period team as well. They seem to be that team that doesn't matter the distance to the bench. They seem to know what they're doing. Inside the Wild zone in the far corner, Bogosian tried to clear the puck out. This is batted back in behind the net. Picked up there by Juracek. Sent it around up the left wing side. Marcus Foligno at center ice. And now they head to Yakov Trenin to the left wing corner. He put it behind the net. One of the Hawks was plastered into the end glass. That was Nazar, hit from behind. Nico Sturm was the guy that put him into the glass. And now the horn sounds ending play in period number 2. And the boys talking about it as they head to their respective benches. It's a preseason game, but why not get into the habit of doing a little talking in between periods, right, to get things going?
Yeah, that's a demoralizing period for Chicago after a really strong first period to get this building energized with the Frank Nazar goal and Nick Foligno in the first half of that first period, and now going into the intermission down by a goal. It came down to four power play opportunities for the Wild in that second. They cashed in on 3 of those.
Yeah, the power play very effective. Shots on goal, by the way, after 2 periods, favoring the Wild 23-13. The Hawks could get away 8 during that second period to the Wild's 13. 3-2 is where she stands after 40. So we're going to send it away for a break. When we return, Charlie's going to have your intermission report. And then following along after that, we'll have third period action. So a long way to go. And the Hawks only down by 1 goal after 2. We'll see where it all ends up.
The Hawks have, is it 2 comebacks in this preseason so far? I know they had the St. Louis one, but did they come? I can't remember if they came back against Minnesota. They were down 2-0 in the second preseason game and to St. Louis, and they scored 4 in the third period.
Right.
So
I've got it. I've got that potential.
Third period comeback here in the preseason action.
All right. We'll find out if they can, plus plenty more. 3-2 in favor of Minnesota after 2. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey, hockey fans, it's Chris Chelios. What are you sipping tonight? El Bandito Yankee is a new ultra-premium tequila that is 100% pure and natural with no additives. Just 100% blue agave. El Bandito Yankee Tequila is the most flavorful Blue Weber agave in the world. Now available at Benny's, Mariano's, Jewel, and Woodman's. Go to elbanditoyankee.com to learn more about what makes us so damn good.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. KCT Credit Union, now a division of Consumers Credit Union. Visit kctcu.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, it's Lisa Dent. I came clean on the air. I'm wearing hearing aids. Remember when hearing aids were for old people? Well, now with everybody wearing earbuds in their ears a good majority of their day, I fear that I'm not the only person that's going to need hearing aids. Get the test. I met with Dr. Rana Fisher at Hearing Health Center. First of all, I love her. She hangs out with a bunch of rock stars who also wear hearing aids. And what I found is that cognitive decline is related to hearing loss. That's all you had to tell me. And I'm like, sign me up. I tried several pair of hearing aids, found the pair that fits best and works best for me. Hearing Health Centers has a bunch of locations. Yes, they're in Chicago, but also Oak Brook, Highland Park, Naperville, and Park Ridge. They're so nice and understanding. And they told me it's me, that my husband doesn't really mumble. And now that I have hearing aids, I'm like, I think they were right. So call Hearing Health Center today at 833-GO-HEARING or book online at hearinghealthcenter.com. Maybe your spouse doesn't mumble either.
The professionals at Plumbers 911 Chicago are ready to answer your call. They'll get your plumbing job done right the first time. Their phones are open 24/7, 1-833-PLUM-911.
The first period's in the books.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Here's Charlie Remiliotis with your intermission update.
We are through 40 minutes here at the United Center. The Blackhawks trail the Minnesota Wild 3-2. Shots on goal are 24-13 in favor of the Wild. 14 of those 24 for Minnesota came in that second period, and it was all about the power play for the Wild, going 3 for 4 with the man advantage. So the Blackhawks taking an early 2-0 lead in that first period, now find themselves in a hole going into the third. Let's get to some top headlines around the NHL, shall we? And we start with a familiar name out in Winnipeg, former Blackhawks captain Jonathan Toews. He suffered a lower body injury on Tuesday against Minnesota in their preseason game. He has not been on the ice since. Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel said he tweaked something, but the hope is that Toews will be ready by opening night. So hopefully Johnny gets healthy and he's ready to go by game one for Winnipeg, because I imagine that's going to be a fun atmosphere for the Jets when Jonathan Toews' name is announced for their home opener. Toronto Maple Leafs forward Scott Laughton is week to week with a lower body injury that he suffered in last night's game against Detroit, which means he will not be available for the start of the season for the Maple Leafs. Staying in the Eastern Conference, the Buffalo Sabres are missing two key pieces. Goaltender Ukko Pekka-Luukkonen and defenseman Michael Kessering are out with undisclosed injuries. They're listed as week to week and will be reevaluated next week. So it's a tough injury for the Sabres that are looking to take that next step this season. I believe Owen Power is also dealing with something as well. So it's not the way that they probably envisioned starting the regular season without a couple of their key pieces on their roster, defenseman and goaltender. Pittsburgh Penguins forward Brian Rust is out at least 2 weeks with a lower body injury. He's going to miss the season opener. He is a potential trade deadline candidate for the Penguins. So we'll see once he gets healthy if he can pick up where he left off last year with the career year of having 31 goals for the Penguins. And finally, Edmonton Oilers signed head coach Chris Knobloch to a 3-year contract extension that runs through the 2028-29 season. He was entering the final year of his deal. It also, by the way, sounds like John Cooper quietly signed a contract extension with Tampa Bay at some point over the summer. That was according to TSN's Pierre LeBrun, who reported today, although the terms are not known between Cooper and Tampa Bay. We, of course, know that John Cooper had Jeff Blashill on his staff last year as the assistant coach, and now Jeff is here in Chicago as the head coach. Elsewhere in sports, the MLB playoffs division series starts tomorrow. Cubs at Brewers in the afternoon. Matthew Boyd will take the ball in Game 1 for the Cubs, who knocked off the San Diego Padres yesterday in a do-or-die Game 3 wildcard series. And then some other Game 1 matchups, the Yankees at Blue Jays, Dodgers at Phillies, and Tigers at Mariners. Meanwhile, here at the United Center, the Blackhawks are down 3-2 to the Minnesota Wild. We'll take a quick break, then break down some more action from the first 40 minutes right here on WGN, 720 WGN.
It's the Bob Surratt Morning Zoo. Not really, but I've always wanted to say that.
WGN. Across Chicago, too many hockey fans struggle to afford the basic necessities. That's why the Salvation Army is assisting those in need all season long. Salvation Army locations across the region are reporting unprecedented demand in communities they've served for decades. Economic hardship and limited access to public assistance have driven more people to their doors in search of emergency support. At the Salvation Army, it's their goal to make sure our neighbors are cared for every day. Go to salarmychicago.org and make a difference tonight. Hey, this is John Williams. When you take your grandkids on a vacation, do they know what's in your investment portfolio? Do they even care? They're busy having a great time, and you're busy making memories. At Alpha Wealth Group, Tom Fortino understands the nuts and bolts of retirement planning are investments, the stock market, taxes, your Social Security, Medicare, and much more. But think about it. What are you really trying to do here? Is your goal to beat the S&P, or is your goal to make more memories with your family? At the Alpha Wealth Group, their goal is to give you the confidence to spend in retirement without the fear of running out of money. Call Tom Fortino and the team at the Alpha Wealth Group to learn more today. 630-864-6711. 630-864-6711. Or schedule a no-obligation consultation by visiting alphawealthgroup.com. alphawealthgroup.com.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth, licensed in Illinois.
The Lutheran Hour began in 1930. It's the world's longest-running Christian outreach radio program. Tune in Sunday mornings at 6:30 right here on WGN.
Back here at the United Center where the Blackhawks are down 3-2 to the Minnesota Wild. We got a new sponsor here that we mentioned on the last show on Tuesday, JeffBuysYourHouse.com. I'm really excited that we're able to partner with them. This year at the United Center, as you know, there's always a veteran that's standing right next to Jim Cornelison during the national anthem. And then that same person is honored in the second intermission here at the United Center. So we're going to highlight some of those throughout the season. Jeff Chucky is the guy that was honored today. So thank you for your service. Tonight's salute to the veteran is sponsored by JeffBuysYourHouse.com, a proud veteran-owned business serving Chicagoland since 2007. So, John, unfortunate second period there for Chicago. Four times Chicago's on the penalty kill, and Minnesota capitalized on 3 of them. And like you mentioned, that is a very lethal first unit for Minnesota. That there's no breathing room with the slot, flanks, up top, down low. They got some dangerous weapons offensively.
Brings up the notion of discipline. You know, like you can't afford to take bad penalties. You may as well get into that habit in the preseason, because you start to do that in the regular season. It's points in the standings and it's standings positions. So the more disciplined they can be, and how people will ask, what do you mean discipline? Well, that doesn't necessarily mean not fighting somebody or not retaliating. It means being careful with your stick. Maybe there's a hit that you don't make, or you don't make it a certain way so that you don't draw that penalty. Maybe you take that extra stride so that you're not reaching with your stick to hook somebody and slow them down. So, in my opinion, discipline on the part of the Blackhawks there in that second period might have made a difference, but you bring up a good point. NHL teams that are good in the Wild are going to have a good power play. That, for what we're seeing right now, wow, look out. That could be the best in the league in a little while. But definitely need to stay out of the penalty box regardless of preseason, regular season playoffs.
If you're the Blackhawks too, it might be a challenge to generate 5-on-5 scoring this year as it has been in years past. Like when you go up against a Kaprizov and a Joel Eriksson-Ek that's shutting down, Connor Bedard's line, like that's just going to happen. And so if you're Chicago, you have to try to find ways to take advantage on the special teams, whether it's killing penalties, creating shorthanded opportunities, but also cashing in on your power play opportunities. And the Hawks haven't been able to do that over the last couple games.
Yeah, if you are good in special teams, that can be the difference between your team making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So you're right. I mean, last year the penalty kill was pretty good, as I recall. The power play, as I recall, had some nights where they were pretty good, pretty noticeable, but, it's a work in progress, as they say. Jeff Blashill seems to be pretty patient with this team. We were talking about Artem Levshunov a little while ago, and Jeff Blashill's comments about Artem Levshunov were very interesting. He said he's going to be patient with the kid because he knows he's got a tremendously high upside, and he feels like he's got to give him that little nudge to push him past that uncertain moment that you always see with him. We saw evidence of that here tonight where he took the puck out on a power play, took the puck out to center ice, and then stopped to make that back pass and wasn't sure what to do with the puck. And so that moment, he ends up turning the puck over to the Wild, ends up being a shorthanded chance. Those are the little things that these kids, they will, in time, they're going to put them behind themselves. But for now, we're watching the progression of younger players taking ownership of the team, and they're going to make their mistakes, but they're going to be errors of commission rather than omission, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I would like to see, and you've mentioned this on the air several times, but I would like to see Levshunov, rather than turn around and wait for the drop back. I mean, he's a great skater that he can just take it in on his own if the defense or the penalty kills are going to give that to you, give that ice to you.
Yeah, I'd like to see, I would also like to see Artem Levshunov shoot the puck more. He seems to be deferential out there, and, okay, everybody gets a chance to shoot the puck. If you've got a clear-cut shot at the net, passing, of course, is always in your mind as a possible option, but you can shoot the puck. He's got a good shot, and he's very good, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. You don't see, when he passes the puck, you don't hear a slap on the puck. It's a wrist, a sweeping motion. And he's got it down to a science. He throws these beautiful passes.
Yeah, he can. When he steps into one, he's got a howitzer of a shot. So yeah, we definitely would like to see that more from Artem Levshunov. Got one more break to get to, and then we're going to set up the third period next. You're listening to Blackhawks hockey on 720 WGN.
The Blackhawks, Wildcats, and the NFL play here on AM 720. On smart speakers, say play WGN Chicago.
Hey, Chicago fans, when the game's on the line, there's no time to waste.
Same goes for selling your house. At Jeff Buys Your House, we make it fast, easy, and stress-free.
No drawn-out showings, no waiting for months on the market.
Just a fair cash offer from a veteran-owned company that puts people first.
Don't let the clock run out. Choose the trusted source. Visit jeffbuysyourhouse.com and score your easy offer today.
Phil, you listen to me, right?
Always, Lisa.
Well, why doesn't my bank listen to me?
Maybe because they're a big bank. Oh, yes, he scores!
Apparently, I need a banker and a husband who listens.
I'm listening. Talk to Lakeside Bank. They listen. They actually help the average guy. And they're just the right size for anything you need done.
Lakeside, huh? Thanks for listening.
Always, Lisa.
Woo-hoo! Yeah!
Lakeside Bank listens and gets things done for you. Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Introducing New Ryan Field, a new era of sports and entertainment in Chicago. Learn more at newryanfield.com. The new Ryan Field is a bold vision for Northwestern and the city, elevating the standards for collegiate and professional stadiums nationwide. 200,000 square feet of public parks and plazas, 4 premium club spaces, comfortable chairback seats for every single fan, and more. The new Ryan Field takes game day experiences to the next level. For more details on the new state-of-the-art stadium, visit newryanfield.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
That big online store has special days with ridiculously low prices. So why don't you?
We do.
You do? When?
Every day. Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery, too.
Wow. now.
Yeah. Plus, through Monday, get a free box spring or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
I guess you could say that now is a prime time to buy.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselist.com.
Before and after every Bears game, tune into Happen OB right here on 720 WGN.
It's go time.
Sponsored by your local Chevy dealers and the Chevy Silverado, official truck partner of the Chicago Bears.
It's the final 20. The third period's just ahead. Here's Charlie Remeliotis with your recap.
Yes, it is. The Blackhawks and Wild have just hit the ice for the start of the third period. By the way, the Hampton OB, it's been a good run of Chicago sports the last couple weeks here with the Bears' big win over the Cowboys and the Raiders, and the Cubs advancing in the playoffs, and the Hawks have had a strong preseason. They went back-to-back, so it's been nice. Let's see if the Hawks can get back in the win column in this preseason game. Let's go now to What's on Deck. It is sponsored by Timber Tech Decking and Railing, #1 in premium decking. Order free samples at timbertech.com. All right, I got this one, John. What's on deck? Stay out of the penalty box.
Very good.
All right, I'm going to take the layup.
Yeah, no, I think that's the low-hanging fruit, but it's, to me, a salient point. You're talking about Hampton OB. I never get tired of listening to Ed Obradovich. I mean, is there anybody more passionate about football than Ed Obradovich? I don't think.
If there is, I don't know where that person is. I don't know what his name is.
Hamp does a great job, too. They're really just a wonderful show and a lot of fun. Very, very entertaining. Underway here in the third period. Wild control. Brock Faber from the zone end. Fires the puck ahead, deflects down ice into the Hawk zone. Levshinoff back of the Hawk net. Sent it around up the right wing side. Bertuzzi chopping at it with the backhand part of his blade. Works it to center ice. Here's Nazar diving at the Wild blue line to try and sweep the puck over to Teuvo Teravainen. With the Wild doubling back. Get it back. Now Rossi. A pass ahead on the right wing side for Boldy. Hawk line. His office sticking down behind the net. Levshinoff looked like he was slew-footed in front, or behind the net, as he tried to get to that puck. No penalty called. Kaiser then lifts the puck down to the Wild blue line for Bertuzzi. He uses his skate to redirect it along the right boards in the Wild end. Hawks go for a line change. Brock Faber back in the Wild zone. Passing over to Jared Spurgeon. From the right wing side of the Wild zone, he shot it ahead into the Hawk zone. Murphy to the puck in the far corner. Put it behind the Hawk net to Nolan Allen. He'll wave it up the left wing side for Dickinson at center ice. He spun it ahead into the Wild zone intended for Slaggert, but taken back by the Wild. They break into the Hawk end, led by Boldy to the right wing corner. Actually, this is Urhoff now. Urhoff behind the Hawk net. Carries to the left wing corner. Murphy gave him a little shot off the puck, and the Hawks take it back. Slaggert to center ice. The Mikheyev steps into the Wild zone. Tried to fire from the high slot. Didn't get good composite on the shot. Rinzel to the puck, top of the left circle. He'll fire. And it's Slaggert in the back of the leg, and he'll now hobble to the Hawk bench. He's limping a little bit. That one had to hurt.
That's where there's no padding behind the leg there, so he's going to feel that one.
Tarasenko leaving the puck behind the Wild net. Raziv Buyum. He'll pass up the right wing side to David Jiricek. Goes rink wide with a pass for Liam Ogren at the Hawk blue line, and he spins it down behind the net. Then Rinzel poked it into the far corner. The Wild take possession. Here's Hartman with the puck, left wing corner, Hawk zone. Send it out to the left point. Bogosian there. Down to Ogren along the left half boards. He now flips it back down behind the Hawk net. Ryan Hartman there to get it. Hartman in the left wing corner, working against Rinzel. Hartman put it to the line, and Bogosian nearly turned it over there. That would have been a Hawks chance. Wild maintained possession. Hartman back of the net to Ogren now. He'll carry behind the Hawk net. To the right corner. Sets up Jiricek. Long shot from the line. And a blocker save made by Knight. Jiricek now. Knocked into the near boards by Grzelcyk, but the Wild maintained possession. Then Grzelcyk takes the puck back. He shot it ahead at center ice. It was intended for Andrei Burakovsky, but it missed him. And the Wild end up taking the puck back. Here's Yakov Trenin into the Hawk zone on the right wing side. He tried to work the puck down the boards, but Grzelcyk got in there with a poke check, knocking the puck up and over the glass. 17:02 left in period number 3. Wild with the 3-2 lead, face-off circle of Spencer Knight's left.
Defensive zone draw here for the fourth line of Lafferty, Doc, and Foligno. Feels like this is likely going to be the opening fourth line for Chicago when they take on Florida on Tuesday.
Well, they work together a little bit. I can see them coming together. They're all working pretty hard. I think it kind of depends on Sam Lafferty. I mean, in a way, he's going to provide some speed to that line and maybe a little guidance. I know Nick Foligno will be able to provide plenty of guidance for young Colton Doc situations out there during the regular season. There's Doc reaching for a puck at the Hawk blue line as it goes down, and icing's going to be the call against the Minnesota Wild.
So on day 2 of training camp, Jeff Blashill put the Blackhawks through some conditioning drills where one designated player had to skate from one end of the ice to the other 4 times, and they had to do it in 45 seconds or less. And then the rest of the team had to do it in 51 seconds or less. And they did it 4 times, and so one player each had to do it. Sam Lafferty did it twice for Team White, and he seemed like he could still go. By the end of those drills, everyone was on their knees or on the floor spitting into garbage cans because of how tired they were after those conditioning drills. And Lafferty seemed like he just jogged. That's how he's an impressive skater.
I remember Alex Lassek's comment to the media. He said, that's the hardest I think I've ever had to skate in my life.
So on that day, I went up to Alex because I wanted to talk to him for a little bit, an interview. And he's like, I'm going to need a minute to catch my breath. And I went back. I went and interviewed someone else, and I came back, and he was still huffing and puffing. He's like, I'm physically here, but my brain is not. So can we do another day? I said, no problem, Alex.
Charlie, I'm tired. That's the end of the interview.
Yeah, he's still catching his breath. And Vlasic, actually, he was one of those 4 skaters that did it in under 45 or less for his team.
Yeah. I could see that.
That's probably why he was tired.
I tell you, he's got great speed. We don't see it as much because Alex doesn't skate the puck that much, but when he does, it's really fun to watch. Ryan Donato, bottom of the right circle, Wild zone, shot the puck in front of the net, banks out to Bedard, who leaves it at the blue line. Here's Renzel, top of the left circle, will turn and fire, and a blocker save made by Gustafson. Grzelcyk to the puck along the left boards, leaving it in the corner for Bedard. He'll carry back to the left point, put it down to Donato, left corner, send it in front for Renzel. It's off his stick. Now Bedard recovers the puck in the high slot to Grzelcyk, top of the right circle. Put it over to Renzel, left circle. He hands it through the high slot for Rakowski, down to Bedard, left corner, walks out, bottom of the circle, and snaps a shot over the net. He was going for the top shelf. And Gustafson cut down the angle, made sure that Bedard shot high and wide, but it was a good chance anyway. Faceoff stays in the Wild zone, circle to Gustafson's right. Gustafson's only faced 15 shots. Wild have outshot the Blackhawks here so far, 25-15.
Connor had room up top.
Yeah,
and he likes to do that in practice where he'll try to aim between the ear hole and the post. He tries that shot a lot, and I think that's exactly what he was aiming for, but he just missed it. High.
Dwayne Sutter had a great notion on how to shoot the puck. He said, just aim for their ears. He says, you're either going to hit them in the ear or they're going to get out of the way, and it's going to be a goal. Now back in the Wild zone, Kaprizov lifts the puck through the air down into the Hawk end. Boldy's got it, trying to work on Nolan Allen. Boldy walks the puck to the net and then pushed in behind by Allen. Rossi recovers near the left point to Kaprizov, left wing corner. To Boldy back of the Hawk net, stripped of the puck by Ilya Mikheyev, who steps into a check. And now Nolan Allen puts Boldy down to the ice in the corner. Mikheyev escapes with the puck. He'll skate it to center ice and then dumps the puck to the left wing corner, Wild zone. Slaggert hustling in, got it to Mikheyev, back in the Wild net, sets up the right point. Renzel, long wrist shot, just save made by Gustafson. And Boldy back the other way for Minnesota to center ice. He'll carry to the Hawk blue line on the right wing side. Near the end of his shift, he'll just touch it down the boards and behind the Hawk net, get off on a change. Here's Matt Grzelcyk. Head to Sam Renzel over the center ice circle, then to Donato over the Wild line, left wing side, firing a shot. Stick save made by Gustafson. Loose puck in the right wing corner. Bedard had the puck momentarily, lost it. Marcus Johansson will go for a wheel with the puck. Back in the Wild zone, then give it on the right wing side. Faber, Wild line to Middleton, center ice. Then to Johansson, Hawk line on the right wing, and they'll flip it down behind the net. Spencer Knight plays it around up the far side. And Andre Burakovsky's got the puck. Handing it ahead, intended for Donato. The pass banks past him and down behind the Wild net. Faber pokes it into the near corner. Eriksson Ek will guide the puck ahead up the right wing side down into the Hawk zone. Wyatt Kaiser's got it back for the Hawks. Wild in a line change. Kaiser to the Hawk line. Firing a pass and head off Colton Dockstick at the Minnesota blue line. It goes down behind the net. And the Wild get it back and clear their end. Trenyon now moving it ahead to Spurgeon over the Hawk blue line on the right wing. We get a whistle. This play is offside. 12:37 left in the third. 3-2 Minnesota. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey, Jeremy Roenick here. You know, I played in an era that was tough, gritty, old school. But I got major respect for the next generation of hockey. The speed, the skill, the precision. That's what I see in Flight by Yuengling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, clean, crisp, real beer flavor without the heaviness. This is the light beer that keeps up with the modern game. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. DT Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA.
It's Lou Manfredini. You know, anyone that listens to my show has heard me stress the importance of doing research and getting multiple bids when taking on a big project. You know, I'm always on the lookout for the best products and services. So when I decided to permanently fix my thinning hair, well, I looked around at other practices, but ultimately I chose Dr. Yates. He had the most experience doing the FUE procedure. Plus, he was a Northwestern Medical School graduate. I like that. Dr. Yates is Chicagoland's premier hair loss doctor with over 10,000 procedures performed. Dr. Yates took the hair from the back and the sides of my head and placed it on the top where the thinning was occurring. The procedure wasn't really painful at all and only took a few hours. It's been almost a decade now, and my hair still looks great, nice and thick. Changed my life. Don't just live with your thinning hair. Do something about it, like I did. Visit DrYatesHairScience.com. That's DrYatesHairScience.com, or make the call today, 312-261-0872. 312-261-0872.
Red, black, and relentless. That's Hawks hockey. Bob Surratt here. Back to the game.
Charlie Romeliotis and John Weideman here at the United Center. You looking for the ultimate night out? Bring your squad to a Blackhawks game at the United Center for an experience you won't find anywhere else. Whether it's birthdays, office outings, family gatherings, or just a much-deserved night out, nothing beats the energy in the UC. Group ticket packages are available at blackhawks.com/groups.
They're showing kids, people on the video board here that are at the game. I just saw my first Utah Mammoth sweater. It's kind of a cool looking logo. Have you seen it?
I'm glad they moved away from the hockey team. Although some people, I feel like they liked it. They didn't mind it. Kind of like
Utah
European
Hockey
soccer.
Club.
Hockey club. Like some European soccer teams do it.
Yeah. Well, it's a catchy looking logo, and you know, I'm sure they're going to sell quite a bit of merchandise out there because it's a cool color scheme and kind of a unique idea. You think that the woolly mammoth was indigenous to Utah? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to go look that up. I'm pretty sure it was. Meanwhile, back here in Chicago, between the circles, Zeev Buium of the Minnesota Wild will take the puck between the circles and then loop in behind the Minnesota net with it. And pass it up the right wing to Marcus Foligno down into the Hawk zone. Murphy shoves him into the glass off the puck. It's spun around to Bogosian at the left point. Flips it down to the end boards behind the net. Murphy takes a hit there from Marcus Foligno. Puck ends up at the left point. Bogosian's got it. There's Zach Bogosian. Batting it down behind the net. And Nico Sturm there to get it. Marco Sturm is the head coach of the Boston Bruins, my bad. Here's Bogosian trying a one-timer from the left point. That shanks wide down behind the net. Allen put it around up the right side to Bertuzzi. Little handoff to Nazar coming by. To center ice, then to the Wild blue line where he dumps the puck to the left wing corner. Bogosian's first there to get it. Head to Sturm. Then a pass up the right wing side to the Hawk blue line. This floats into the Hawk zone. Artem Levshinov back to get it. To Tyler Bertuzzi, right wing of center ice. Center rink wide, intended for Wyatt Kaiser, and the pass misses, and icing is going to be the call here. Bertuzzi did not clear the center ice red stripe before making that pass, and he's exhausted right now, and he has to stay on the ice because of this icing call. Face off to the right of Spencer Knight.
Yeah, a long shift here for that crew. Looking at the face-offs, the Hawks have had a really difficult night in this department. Jason Dickinson is going to take this one to the left of Knight. He won that one. That's his third win of the night. But he had only one win in his first 10 going into the third period.
Well, he won that one cleanly, and then Kaiser clears to center ice, and now the puck ends up in front of the benches. And Tyler Bertuzzi, who couldn't get to the bench, the puck hit him on the way out. So I'm sure he's going to enjoy his seat on the bench to get his win back.
It says that shift was 1:10 for Bertuzzi, but for him it feels like a minute and 50. Oh. He uses a lot of energy when he skates because he's not the fleetest of foot and he plays a physical brand of hockey. So he will be taking an extra breath on the bench.
Tyler works hard. He gives you what he has. Draw at center ice, won by Connor Bedard. Renzel at the Hawk line. To Burakovsky along the right wing at center ice, front of the benches. Will hand off to Bedard. He'll sling the puck to the left wing corner, wild zone. Faber behind his net. To Middleton near corner. Gave up the puck along the boards to Burakovsky. He flips it behind the wild net to the far corner. And Faber will shove it ahead to Nico Sturm, who then sends the puck to the Hawk blue line. Back to get it, Matt Grzelcyk. Grzelcyk now to Renzel. Circle to the right of Knight. He'll skate the puck out to center ice. Flings it off the boards deep into the wild zone, behind the net into the near corner. Faber winds it around behind his net up the left wing to Sturm. We'll hand off to Ogren. Back down the boards to Sturm behind the Hawk net. Doubling back with Connor Bedard in a back-checking mode to break that up and take the puck away. And Kaprizov on the ice takes a hit in the left wing corner. Works the puck free. Spurgeon along the right boards to Bouillon. He'll fire from the line, and a glove save is made by Spencer Knight, and he'll hold on in the Hawk crease. 9:43 left in the third. The Wild lead at 3-2. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Hey, Hawks fans, it's Jeremy Roenick, and you're listening to Blackhawks hockey, the only place you can. WGN Radio.
Can't find the right words? Rogers & Hollins has you covered. Since 1910, Rogers & Hollins has been Chicagoland's trusted name for fine jewelry and quality watches. From engagement rings to the perfect gift or something to elevate your look, generations have relied on Rogers & Hollins for unmatched quality and personal service. Experience the Rogers & Hollins difference. Visit fornowandforever.com or a store near you. Rogers & Hollins, for now and forever.
Rogers & Hollins, for now and forever.
This House Smarts Minute is sponsored by Genesis Plus HOCl. A constantly running toilet can waste thousands of gallons of water a year and can drive up your utility bills. Be sure to check your toilets regularly and replace any parts that are no longer functioning as they should. You'll be surprised at how most toilet repair jobs are fairly simple and inexpensive to do yourself. For more information, go to housesmartsradio.com. And now this. Refresh your home from viruses, bacteria, and mold. An atomizer from Genesis Plus HOCl is the most effective and safest way to disinfect the air and surfaces in your home. This small, sleek, powerful machine creates a dry mist that eliminates over 99% of germs and allergens. HOCl stands for hypochlorous. It's found in the human body as part of our immune system. Atomizing and dispensing it will rid your home of bacteria, viruses, and mold. Learn more at WGNCleanair.com.
From dull floors to the latest innovations, Lou Manfredini's guest interviews on House Smarts Radio inspire Chicago homeowners. Tune in Saturday, sponsored by Simple Flooring, floors that inspire every step.
Back here at the United Center, are you looking for the ultimate flexibility while still getting access to the biggest games of the year? Whether you select a quarter season plan or a customizable pick-em plan, we've got you covered with options that fit your schedule. Visit tickets.blackhawks.com to learn more.
Now in front of the Hawks bench, looked like Slaggert and one of the Wild players got their sticks on the puck at the same time. That's Marco Rossi, and the puck deflects up and over the benches. And so we get a whistle. We'll face it off just outside the Hawk blue line. One of the Blackhawks assistant coaches, Mike Vellucci, former Hartford Whaler. He was a teammate, by the way, of former Blackhawk head coach Joel Quenneville for 2 games in the 86-87 season. Mike's a good coach and really good working with kids. I think he's going to make a welcome addition to the Blackhawks coaching staff this season. And, good hockey man, longtime hockey man from the Detroit area. Here's a pass from the far side of the Wild zone by Bouillon. It goes all the way down. They're going to wave the icing. Hawks get it back. Allen behind the net, gave the puck to Murphy along the right wing side. He'll carry to center ice. Now Murphy decides to double back into the Hawk zone and leave the puck for Nolan Allen. Bank pass ahead to Teravainen. He's in over the Wild line, right point. Fed it through left circle. Bertuzzi, he fires. He just missed the crossbar, and he just missed taking Frank Nazar's head off with that shot, too, as the puck deflects up into the protective netting.
I think this grazed the left shoulder of Philip Gustafsson. If it did, what a fantastic save.
You might be right.
I'm looking at the...
Oh, no,
it did. It did hit the top of the crossbar.
All right. We got our first look at it in real time, and then they slowed it down, and clank. Now Wild on the attack. Johansson rolls off a check over the Hawk line down the right wing to the corner. Turns and drops it off. And the puck is walked to the net, and it's gloved off the ice now by Spencer Knight. The boys take exception to something that one of the Wild players did. A little too overzealous, I believe, was Joel Eriksson. Wyatt Kaiser's got the bucket off, and a little irate is Wyatt Kaiser. Normally a very composed young man, a devout young man. But, they say when you step on the ice, that little switch gets flipped on, and sometimes you're a different personality.
He's really competitive. He didn't appreciate the way Eriksson went for the extra hack after Spencer Knight went to make the cover up on the save. We're going to get some penalties here.
Okay. Minnesota number 14 and Chicago number 44. 2 minutes each, roughing.
Well, there you heard it, which opens up the ice once again. A little 4-on-4 action.
That's the second time in this game we've had dueling roughing penalties. You think they're ready for the regular season to start? These games to start counting?
Yeah, I think they're working themselves into a regular season mode here. You got Jason Dickinson that's going to take the draw for the Hawks. Connor Bedard out there as well. Let's see who the rest of the troops are going to be. Grzelcyk and Sam Renzel. So Jeff Blashill has opted to go with 2 defensemen and 2 forwards as opposed to 1 defenseman and 3 forwards. Now Dickinson takes the draw, wins it, and goes to the bench. And Andre Burakovsky's on. Here's Bedard breaking out of the Hawk zone through center ice with a burst of speed. Over the Wild line to the right corner. Drop pass. Renzel, right circle. Shoots. Chest save made by Gustafsson down in the butterfly position. And he'll hold on to the puck for a whistle. Face-off circle to Gustafsson's left.
I think that's the 4th straight face-off win for Jason Dickinson after winning just 1 of his first 10. A massive defensive zone draw to the left of Knight. He wins it, darts straight to the bench, and Andre Burakovsky jumps on the ice. So a big, crucial face-off win there for Dickinson, who's going to be in that role this year as far as taking those very important defensive zone draws.
Well, Andre Burakovsky will try his hand here against Marco Rossi of the Wild. Drop the puck. Burakovsky wins it. Renzel's got the puck right point. Renzel carrying down toward the right corner, turning away from Rossi. Retains possession of the puck out to the blue line where he drops it off to Bedard. Bedard to the right circle. Toe dragging a shot. Knocks the stick out of Gustafsson's hand. Bedard got it back along the right boards. Gustafsson reaching for a stick in the crease. Bedard fires, and that's turned out of there with the cheater portion of the glove from Gustafsson. And Renzel has to carry back to center ice and drop it back in the Hawk zone. Burakovsky leaving the puck behind the Hawk net for Grzelcyk. Shot it ahead, Connor Bedard at center ice. Weaving to the Wild line, has to hold it back out over the center ice circle and then back up with it into the Hawk zone as the Hawks will regroup.
That Bedard shot was so hard it knocked the stick out of Gustafsson's hand.
Bedard back into the Wild zone, right wing side. Gave it a look, didn't find anybody to pass the puck to, so he drove it down the boards behind the net. Here's Brock Faber the other way into the Hawk zone, right wing side. Sent the puck to the left wing corner. Kaprizov's got it to Boldy, left point with 35 on the coincidentals. To Faber coming through the high slot. Took the puck over the left circle. Faber now to Boldy, left point. Boldy sidestepping Teravainen. Carries the puck over to the right point. Teravainen won't give him any room. And Boldy finally lifts the puck back out to center ice. Spurgeon's got it there. Quick pass ahead. Kaprizov over the Hawk line, right wing side. Kaprizov to the boards, drops it off to Bouillon through the high slot. To Boldy, to Kaprizov, top of the right circle. 4 seconds on the coincidentals. Now to Boldy, he put it out in front. Bouillon fires just wide. Penalty box is empty. The teams are at full strength. Boldy from the right point. Put the puck into the right wing corner. Kaprizov there. Nolan Allen's able to pin him to the boards. But the Wild retain possession. Boldy firing from the high slot. That deflects away to the right corner. Kaprizov tried to center the puck. This is taken back in the near corner by the Hawks, Nolan Allen. And they'll wave it behind the net. And Leshinoff eliminated with a body check right at the Hawk blue line. But then as he goes down, he gets back to his feet and has the puck. Hands it ahead up the left wing. Nolan Allen at center ice. He'll guide it down the shelf that separates the boards and the glass. Ends up behind the Wild net. It's quickly passed ahead by Jiricek into the Hawk zone. Then Johansson coughs up the puck. Grzelcyk in the near corner, put a pass up the right wing. It was intended for Nick Foligno. Johansson took it away. Foligno stripped him of it, got it ahead to Donato over the line. He'll fire from the left circle, and a blocker save made by Gustafsson. This puck taken back by the Hawks. Grzelcyk from the left circle, carrying down in behind the Wild net. Sets up the slot. Now Foligno to Donato. He'll fire, and a blocker save made by Gustafsson. He puts the glove over the puck on his blocker, holds it, whistle stops play. All right, it's getting late. 3-2 in favor of the Wild with 5:14 left in the third. Can the Hawks come back and make it a pair of wins over the Wild in this preseason? Find out after this break. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Gentlemen, it's Charlie Meliodas for Suits 2020. If you want to look your best, visit Suits 2020 at 7651 North Caldwell in Niles, or see them online at suits2020.com. Their selection and service are second to none. For homecoming, a wedding party, a job interview, or any special occasion, visit Suits 2020. They have everything you need, including expert tailoring right on site. For business, dress or casual, designer accessories, outerwear, shoes, and so much more, visit Suits 2020.
Fall into savings with Architect. Don't wait until next spring to build your dream outdoor space. With significant fall savings from Architect, now is the perfect time to start your project. They offer year-round building so they can build when it's cold and you can enjoy your new deck, patio, or porch when it's warm. Avoid busy spring schedules. Lock into 2025 pricing and enjoy your space come spring by contacting them this fall. Imagine cozy gatherings on a screen porch, sipping your morning coffee on a custom deck, or late-night bonfires on your new patio. Their experienced design professionals are dedicated to bringing your unique ideas to life. They handle everything from initial design to the final construction, guiding you through the entire process with clear communication and expert advice. Their commitment to using top quality materials, providing exceptional customer service, and offering unmatched warranties ensures your complete satisfaction. Start planning your custom deck, patio, or porch today. Your new family gathering space begins with Architect. Visit architect.com/Chicagoland or call 847-496-4333.
Hey Hawks fans, this is Connor Murphy. Let's get back to the action.
Now back to the game.
Back here at the United Center where the Tommy Hawk is trying to pump up this United Center crowd with 5:14 to go. The Hawks are down 3-2, but they're slowly starting to make a little bit of a push here, John.
Yeah. You could feel it in that last 4-against-4 sequence. They were... Get a look at that replay of that Donato shot. They were not hesitant to shoot the puck, let's just say. So a little more of that. Shots 27-21 favoring Minnesota. Draw a circle to the right of Gustafsson. The Hawks get it. Then Burakovsky from the left wing corner tried to angle a pass back to the left point, intended for Grzelcyk. Instead, Tarasenko intercepts and put it back into the Hawk zone. Here's Bedard now to center ice. Lifts it off the right corner glass, Minnesota zone. Middleton took it behind the net, lost it. Donato takes a pass from Bedard and from the left circle fires high and wide. Burakovsky, right point, put it left point, Grzelcyk. Now over to Bedard along the left sideboards. To Burakovsky, left point. to Renzel along the right sideboards. He sent it across for Bedard, who was defended on the play by Middleton, never got to the pass. The Wild do. Hartman into the Hawk zone on the right wing. Will dump it down in behind the Hawk net. Renzel claims the puck, and he'll skate it out. Move it ahead on the left wing to Nazar. Works his way over the Wild line, left point. Sends it over, right wing circle. Bertuzzi, tough angle shot. That's into the breadbasket of Gustafsson, and he'll hold on with it. You get a whistle, 4:13 now left in the third. 3-2 is the score. I think for the first time here on home ice anyway, Charlie, we might see Spencer Knight pulled to the bench in a sixth attacker situation with a little more time on the clock. Jeff Blashill did it the other night against Detroit to no avail. But tonight we might see him try it with a little more time than he had at the previous encounter.
Now, I wonder how aggressive Jeff likes to be in one-goal games, because we saw him do it the other night against Detroit where the Hawks were down 2. So he was really aggressive.
I was going to say, if ever there's a time for experimentation, it would be in the preseason. So we'll see. Kaiser to the puck in the near corner Hawk zone. And he's bothered a little bit by a Wild player. And then Levshunov grabs the puck. David Bertuzzi between the circles. Look out. He's able to get it to safety against the far boards and work it up the right wing side to Nazar, who clears the center ice. And then Nico Sturm sends it down in behind the Hawk net. 3:30 left in the third. Dickinson takes a pass up the left wing to center ice from Kaiser. Dumps the puck off the inboards Wild zone. In the near corner, Juracek tried to cold shoulder Colton Dock. Wild get the puck and clear their end. Here's Foligno, Marcus Foligno, Hawk line. Caught by a host of Hawks. Grzelcyk takes the puck. Grzelcyk to center ice, left wing side, ahead to Colton Dock. Waves the puck down beside the Wild net. Gustafsson, the goaltender, plays it off the near corner to David Juracek, and he'll flip it through the air to the Hawk blue line. Connor Murphy now settling it down in the Hawk zone. To Matt Grzelcyk between the circles. Passing it up the left wing, Ilya Mikheyev. The puck bounces off his stick blade. Marcus Foligno turning in front of the penalty boxes, fell down, lost the puck. Bedard back the other way. Over the Wild line, he'll fire from the high slot, and Ryan Hartman got the stick in there, deflecting that up into the protective netting. Little frustration on the part of the Blackhawks here. I mean, they have gotten some shots through, but 22, kind of a low shot number. I know they'd like to see that number maybe even doubled.
Yeah, Ryan Donato's had quite a few of them in this third period. One of them he missed the net. The other one he's gotten on the net. He had a very shoot-first mentality, Donato did. Look at this. Jeff's getting really aggressive. 2:38 left. Hawks have an offensive zone draw to the left of Philip Gustafsson, and Spencer Knight has headed to the bench for the extra attacker.
So now it's going to be face-off circle to the left of Gustafsson. Frank Nazar to take the draw against Rossi of the Wild. Rossi wins it. And now Boldy chops it to center ice for Kaprizov. Stripped of the puck at the Hawk blue line by Renzel. It's a superior effort by the young Sam Renzel. Between the circles, Hawk zone. The aforementioned Renzel. Head to Teravainen at center ice to Bedard. He'll fire it down the right side boards deep into the Wild zone. Foligno got the puck back behind the net now. To Nazar right point. To Renzel in the deep slot. To Bedard, one-timer from the left circle. Turned out of there by Gustafsson. And now here's Rossi with the puck Wild line to Boldy at center ice on the left wing side. He shot it wide of the Hawks' empty net. Back to get it now. Nazar passing on the left wing side. Teravainen at center ice, then to Renzel. Dumps it off the right side glass and down behind the Wild net. Middleton to the puck. Turned it over to Bertuzzi, left wing corner. He'll chip it behind the Wild net. Right wing corner now to Nazar. To Nick Foligno, right point, to Teravainen along the right boards, and Nazar back in the net. Out to Teravainen, right point with 1:30. To Renzel straight away with a drive in and out of the glove of Gustafsson. Renzel got it back left point. To Nazar, left wing boards. Now a drive from the high slot. Turned out of there. Stick save made by Gustafsson. Teravainen fired the puck. Puck taken by Kaprizov. He'll lift it through the air down into the Hawk zone. 1:12 on the clock. Bertuzzi takes a pass from Renzel. He's over the Wild line on the left wing. Fights off a check. Put it back to Burakovsky, left point to the high slot. Levshunov. He shoots. And the chest save made by Gustafsson. He'll smother the puck and hold on. Get a whistle stopping play with exactly 1 minute left in regulation.
Really nice chances that Chicago is getting in this final minute and a half. Artem Levchinov with a really good point shot. I couldn't tell if it was tipped by Donato or Colton Dock, but some nice net front presence by the Blackhawks to try to even this thing up. And I believe Blashill is going to call a timeout with exactly 1 minute left, probably to rest their first unit because they hopped off the ice after about a minute and a half of a shift. Let's see if Blashill puts that first unit back on or if he keeps the second 6-on-5 unit here as they get huddled up.
Well, they're certainly going to try and generate the chances, of course. Wild have been very good, I think, at protecting their end. 26 shots on goal by the Hawks. And we mentioned, I know that's kind of a low number. As far as the Hawks are concerned, they like about at least 10 more.
Yeah, well, half of them have come in this third period. The shots are 13-4 in favor of Chicago in the third.
Right. All right, face-off circle to Gustafson's right. It's going to be Nick Foligno facing off against Nico Sturm. It's Foligno, Bertuzzi, Bedard, Nazar, Renzel, and Teravainen dropping the puck. Bedard works it free in the left circle to Renzel at the line. The Teravainen right point to Renzel at the line again. Back to Teravainen right circle. Tried to feed it through to the high slot for Nazar. And Marcus Foligno reached in with a stick to knock the puck down ice in the Hawk zone. 40 seconds left in regulation. Renzel carrying to center ice. Drops the puck Hawk line to Connor Bedard. Bedard to Nick Foligno. He's over the Wild line left point. Put it down to the corner. Spurgeon spun the puck around, not out. Held in by Renzel left point with the high slot. Nazar to Bedard. Firing for the left circle. And a sliding blocker save made by Gustafson. Bedard again, top of the left circle with 20. Put it over. Teravainen fired. Blocked in front. Loose puck to the left boards. Bedard to Renzel. High slot. He'll fire. That's blocked. Renzel got it back. 12 seconds left. Teravainen firing for the right wing boards. Ends up behind the net. Here's Bedard. Left circle. One more chance. He fires. That's blocked. In the slot. Renzel fires. Knocked away by Gustafson. 2 seconds. One. And the Wild hang on for the win. Boy, I tell you, that was an all-out onslaught by the Blackhawks. The last 30 seconds of this hockey game, Charlie, and I give Gustafson an awful lot of credit, the Wild goaltender. He and his mates kept that puck out of the Wild net. We should be looking at a tie score.
Boy, that was an exhilarating finish. Connor Bedard had several opportunities, one of them on the one-timer that was a beautiful right pad save by Philip Gustafson. I thought they were going to get one last look with like a second and a half left after the shot from Renzel ricocheted off the glass, and it looked like it was about to go to the stick of Nick Foligno, but unfortunately didn't go further enough for him to have the angle to tap it in. And unfortunately, the Hawks come up just short in this third period.
Well, with the loss, the Blackhawks preseason record now falls to 2-3-0. And they'll have a game tomorrow night against the St. Louis Blues right back here at the United Center. This one goes to the Wild 3-2. The official shots on goal, the final tallies. The Blackhawks did outshoot the Wild in this hockey game. They had 16 third period shots for a game total of 29. The Wild had 27. And these two teams will meet several times during the regular season. And if those games are as exciting as this one, Charlie, we're in for a real nice series in the regular season.
I like how Blashill used that last 2.5 minutes to treat it like a regular season game.
Right.
Calling a timeout with a minute left, pulling the goalie aggressively to try to resemble what the Hawks would do in a real-time situation when the games actually matter. And Mike Vellucci drawing up plays on the draw board or on the erase board, and the Blackhawks going back to that first unit to try to make that final push. So I thought it was, the second period of this game is really what did Chicago in with those 4 penalties.
Yeah.
And Minnesota capitalized on 3 of them.
All right, 3-2, the final score. The Wild win it. We'll be back to tell you more about it right after we take this break. This is Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN.
Imagine being 3 months pregnant and finding out you have cancer. I'm Robin, and that was my reality. But I trusted my team at Northwestern Medicine. my oncologist, orthopedic surgeon, and high-risk obstetrician, who collaborated to come up with the safest chemotherapy plan. So I didn't have to choose between my life and my baby's.
Anchored by Northwestern Memorial Hospital, nationally ranked for obstetrics and gynecology, cancer, and orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report, Robin's team worked together closely, focusing not only on making Robin better, but on bringing her baby into the world safely. After months of treatments, they performed a C-section, then cancer removal on the same day.
Now there are two things we celebrate on Sophia's birthday: her life and mine.
Because what makes us better makes you better. Northwestern Medicine. Learn more at nm.org/better.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Right now, for a limited time, get 1.99% APR on the Hyundai Tucson or the Tucson Hybrid. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end November 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Bringing you Chicago's news daily, The Lisa Dent Show. Weekdays starting at 2. Now back to the game.
Back to the United Center. John Weideman along with Charlie Romeliotis, who rode shotgun with me here tonight. Troy Murray a little bit under the weather. We wish our good friend Troy all the best in recovery, and hopefully he'll be back here tomorrow night when the Blackhawks take on the St. Louis Blues for the final preseason game. Charlie, real quick, just your overall thoughts on this game and how this could reflect what we see in the regular season.
Really good 40 minutes of hockey, the first period and the third period, but it was that second period for Chicago, unfortunately, that they committed four penalties. Actually, it might have been 5 with the dueling roughing penalties that both teams got in that second. But Minnesota's power play is really lethal, and when you give them that many opportunities, they're going to make you pay. But I liked the finish by Chicago in this game to really throw the kitchen sink at the Wild. Unfortunately, it was just a tad short.
They never gave up, and as long as they do that, I think most people will be happy with what the Blackhawks can present. By the way, we should mention a little programming reminder. Tomorrow night's game is going to start at 6 p.m., and we will take it at the top of the hour. We do not have a pregame show tomorrow. Northwestern football is tomorrow, I understand. So
no pregame. This was our dress rehearsal, at least for me, my pre and post.
So you carried me again. What can I say?
Oh, stop it. You carried me.
Nice job, Charlie. We'll do it again tomorrow night.
Let's do it.
Thanks to Charlie Romeliotis for a great job with the color and a pinch hit roll. Big thanks to our Hall of Fame engineer, Mr. Paul Zarang. A little fist bump from the great one. Thanks as well to the hardworking crew at our flagship station tonight. They only needed two people. Krista Flores and Tony DeNardis. Great job by you guys. Thanks as well to you great Blackhawk fans who came down here to the United Center. Unfortunately, if you're listening, you might be going home a little unhappy unless you're a Minnesota Wild fan, but why would they be here? Anyway, we wish you all the best. Please drive safely on your way home, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night when the Blackhawks finish their preseason against the St. Louis Blues. Our final thanks of the night goes back to Charlie. He got us through the pregame, the intermissions. He's going to get you home on the Blackhawks postgame show. And we should mention it's the Flight by Yingling, Chicago Blackhawks radio postgame show. Flight is the next generation of light beer. There, I said it. For everybody I mentioned, I'm John Weideman. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Blackhawks preseason hockey on 720 WGN. Charlie's got your postgame show, folks. Lend an ear. Here he is right now.
The game is in the books, and the Flight by Yingling Chicago Blackhawks radio postgame show is on the air on the Blackhawks Radio Network.
Welcome into the Flight by Yingling Chicago Blackhawks radio postgame show. Flight is the next generation of light beer. I'm your host, Charlie Romeliotis, here at the United Center. I'm a little thrown off right now because I'm on the TV monitor as I watch myself on the Blackhawks Breakaway podcast. Here at the United Center, Hawks fall to the Minnesota Wild 3-2, and that background noise you hear is the sad organ music, which is back because it's a loss, unfortunately, for Chicago. They got off to a really good start in this game with scoring the first 2 goals of the game, Frank Nazar and Nick Foligno, but unfortunately, it was that second period that really was the downfall of the Blackhawks in this game, going 1 for 4 on the penalty kill, Minnesota scoring 3 on the power play, as I turn to my right and bring in the great John Weideman to help me break down this game as well. John,
let's do it.
I think it was the period that you highlighted as well, that Minnesota, the second periods for them last year were very, I think they were one of the league leaders in goal differential in the second period. And we saw why in this game.
They understand. I think, John Hines, I'm going to give John Hines some credit here. He's their head coach. And John is an astute man, I'll say. John played his college hockey at Boston University. He played in the last Beanpot tournament that was held at the Boston Garden. There's a little nugget for you. But John understands what that means to be the long way from the bench in that second period. It means you can't take icing calls. You can catch your opponent in a bad line change and take advantage, which they did. And then they seize on the opportunity with the power play. And so you got to give them credit. They played a strong game, and that's a good squad, boy. That's going to be a good hockey team this year. And with Kaprizov's contract issues behind him, he can now concentrate on playing hockey, and I think that's going to make a big difference for them. And Bill Guerin, their general manager, kind of on an ongoing basis, he's continuing to build that team into a solid contender. So that's what we saw.
Yeah. In this game, it was the penalty kill that did Chicago in. On Tuesday, it was an 0 for 6 power play night by the Blackhawks. And so I know this sounds silly or cliche, but special teams is going to play a crucial part in the success of the Blackhawks as far as the standings go. Rarely are they going to step foot on the ice against a team that they have a better roster, or I should say, they're going to be one of the youngest teams in the NHL, if not the youngest team in the NHL, especially on defense. And so when you have those power play opportunities or those opportunities to kill penalties, it's going to be so massive in swaying whether or not the game goes your way.
Yeah, it may take them, Charlie, with a young team like this, it may take them till between Thanksgiving and Christmas to kind of see that cohesion that's necessary on both special teams, penalty kill and power play, to where they can get to a point where they've got ownership of it. You know what I mean? Like, not something that's going to be new to them, not something that they're going to have to adjust to. Hopefully there's a gelling process that will take place in every way, and special teams will be part of that. That would be a huge assist to this team going forward.
I was actually talking this morning to Connor Murphy about how long it might take for the group to feel like they are all on the same page with getting a new system down. And it typically does take some time. And he couldn't really pinpoint exactly, by this day or by this game, we're going to, it's going to be an evolving thing. I remember I was talking to Tony Granato last week at practice, and he obviously knows Jeff well, being on his staff. So he ran this system, and he said, this is a system that's a little bit scary at the start, and it seems like it can be very intense, but once the guys get comfortable playing it and then they know where each other is going to be, then it becomes muscle memory, and it's like, okay, game on. And so I think it's just powering through the first, however long it takes them. Maybe it might take a while, especially because you have some young guys on this roster that are trying to navigate their way in the NHL. They're not, 7-year veterans where they've seen systems or whatever. So this all might be new to them, but I do think, patience should be preached when it comes to learning the new system and just collectively trying to get all on the same page as they all navigate their way in the NHL.
Well, I can only relate to the listeners this. Back in the days of Kane and Taves, with the power play, it seemed like there was a reliance on Patrick Kane.
Yep.
With the penalty kill, a lot of times there was a reliance on Jonathan Taves. And I'm not going to say those were the two leaders of the individual special teams, but you definitely knew you're going to get Patrick Kane for a power play, and you knew that you were going to get Jonathan Taves, on the penalty kill, because he could win faceoffs. And anyway, my point being that now, instead of a reliance on one individual to be the linchpin on those teams, it's going to be a collective kind of a thing where everybody's going to be involved in some way or another. There might be guys that'll be playing on both special teams, power play and penalty kill. It's not going to happen in the first month. I don't think. It's not going to happen in the first 2 months. This is just my opinion. I think somewhere around Christmas is when things will kind of ring true to this team, and they'll understand what Jeff Blashill and the coaching staff are trying to say to them. They'll understand the schemes, what they need to do. Who knows how many individual meetings these coaches are going to have with these players to get them to learn, to keep that learning curve going, but to a point where they can embrace it. And then, that's right. You told me that last week. Now I remember. And then they get into that situation on the ice and they realize what the coaches are trying to tell them. It just takes a little bit of time. And to me, it's going to be time well invested because this is a good group of young players.
How about the finish of this game? I was looking at the final minute and 28 seconds after the Blackhawks had pulled Spencer Knight for the extra attacker. It was fun to watch Chicago because in the past couple of years, they haven't really had the horses to be in situations like that and you feel comfortable. But now it's Connor Bedard, it's Frank Nazar, it's Sam Rinzel. Tyler Bertuzzi had a career year under Jeff Blashill, so he kind of might be rejuvenated. Teuvo Teravainen, the Hawks had 9 shot attempts in the final